Listen, listen, listen. Welcome to Monday Night Tour Ramblings. Where the hell is my Hexa stack? Travis, not Moody. It's been like over a month. We talked about it, and Jeff said, "You know what?" Skunkworks said, "You need to ask about that as soon as you open." So I'm opening it. I told you I was going to write it down. So anyway, hope everyone had a wonderful weekend. Thank you for tuning in. I am exhausted. I'm always exhausted, but I am extremely exhausted. But I only have 2 more days of work, and then you might know what's going on after that. I may be heading somewhere. I may be meeting up with some friends, having a hell of a week or 5 days, whatever you want to call it. I can't wait to get there. But 2 more days, and let's be honest. I walked into work today, and my boss was like, he goes, you're already on vacation, aren't you?" And I was like, well, I was gonna wait to be in vacation mode till Wednesday, but if you're okay with me being in vacation mode Monday, then that's what I'll do. So hopefully it's gonna be easy because I'm just dreading the next 2 days because I just want it to be over. Okay. I can't wait. But anyway, thank you guys all for joining. We're going to talk about JoeFest. That's kind of what the topic is. We'll be talking about a lot of G.I. Joe because there was a lot of G.I. Joe that was shown off last week that went up for pre-orders, and maybe a little bit of a foobar that I want to discuss on my own without anyone, without getting in politics, because that's where it leads to if you try and discuss it with people. It's one of the reasons why I told them on the Circle of Jerks I won't discuss it, because I know where that police officer, where the discussion would go to, and it's not where I feel like it needs to go. But anyway, we will discuss that. But anyway, yesterday was Father's Day. Thank you to fathers. Happy Father's Day to all the fathers out there. This year, if you're on Instagram, you can see the Father's Day card that Olivia made me. It is inspired by the recent episodes of Angel, where if you've ever watched the show, if you haven't, earmuffs, I'm going to spoil it. His son, well, he drops him in a lake, and well, she doesn't know what happens, but she's pretty sure Angel survived only because the name of the show is Angel, and there's still like 2 years to go, 2 seasons. And then I had all this. Now, if you read the back, there is one of my co-hosts on Circle of Jerks. We'll just say he's bald. Wait a minute, we're all bald, but he may actually go by it. He takes a shot because she knows that he giggles at his own jokes. So he already knows. We had a nice discussion on it. So anyway, again, like I said, happy Father's Day to everyone. I know it's a big day for a lot of us. We get to spend it with our kids, with our families. My ex and actually her whole family, for the most part, we all went to a minor league baseball game. I realized how much my daughter doesn't know anything about sports because she was asking some of the most basic questions about baseball. But I enjoyed just kind of sitting there. I don't go to sporting events. I'm not usually a fan, but I could probably just go there at this minor league stadium and just sit there and watch alone and kind of enjoy watching what the athletes do. I was actually found it very enjoyable. But anyway, that's what I did Sunday this weekend. I created some content. You may have seen I came up. I found some stuff at Target. I know Target. I thought they were done with classified. Never going to be there again. No one's ever going to see classified. Well, that's not entirely true. So anyway, we got 55 people watching right now. I think I'm having issues with this stream. So if I am, please let me know. Make sure I can hear. Let's say hi to everyone that is watching right now. We got Joe RH saying we need watercraft in the classified. It feels like it hasn't stopped raining in months. It hasn't rained at all, really, where I'm at. We got Roll Keeper Men I'm sorry. Wow, I got way ahead of myself. Johnny Reno. Same Time Toys, Red Toys Galaxy, who I might be meeting up with not only at JoeFest, but maybe here in Michigan. We have Menhuza here. We have Stanley Eberhardt, who is here. We have Sabir Norte saying, good evening, everyone. Popped in to shot shout at the chat and Lawrence as I'm heading home from my gym. Reno, Shane, Manhuza, Joe, Red, and Keeper, and those coming in, and Lawrence. We have David R. has joined us. Plastic Fantastic, who I'm looking forward to meeting or seeing again. I guess you're not going to meet him again. Jamie Bonson here. Did I say that right? Machine Man. We have Matthew Matson jumping in with the Derek Holloman, Action Figs, my moderator, who, if you don't know, him and I are rooming together. He's as excited as I am. And he's already annoyed as I am with some people. SES Dog has joined us. We have Snowwolf GI Bro, who has the best guns in the community, and I'm sure you'll see some pictures of him this weekend. Whew. Son of a Crayon Slayer, who I still love that. I absolutely love that name. I don't know why. It's just something that I think is so cool. We have Nolan, which makes us Toy Tube official. Plastic Skulls. There's so many people. You guys are talking amongst each other. As I mentioned, I'm trying to go through everyone. Krusty O'Crow, who unfortunately is not going to JoeFest this year, and I'm very disappointed about that. Viper Scout, who I know jumped on some other stream, who tried to do what I did, and I guess that's cool, but you know what? You should ask people before you start, taking their ideas and doing stuff. I'm just saying, just throwing that out there. Dominic Johnson. Let's see, is there anyone else? I know there's got to be other things. Jeff. I started saying your name, and then I got that. I started hearing that sound bite that everyone. I'm Jeff, or whatever that is. Jeremy Kimberlin is here. Sean Jones. We have 3-star Draw, who is joining us. Hi, it's me, Cal Shave, who I've seen making all kinds of comments in different groups and in different places. Medic 1849, Woody 222, who always, again, it doesn't matter. Woody always is going to get the just for being such a damn good guy. Alex S. J Astro, who I want to say something. I want to say something about J Astro quickly. He lost his Instagram. He started following me, and I realized I didn't follow him. I thought I followed you. I quickly talked to him. He said, "Yeah, I lost my Instagram, and I just got this one." So he's restarting all over. Follow J Astro on Instagram. He does amazing photography. I just want to say that, amazing photography. So please go over, follow J Astro on Instagram. You won't miss. You won't deny it because you won't deny it. You won't regret it because he really does some really good photography. Krusty O'Crow says, "Punk, you have froze a couple times already, but it's fast." Yeah, I don't know why I'm having this problem. Other than everyone's at my house right now. But I guess I'll have to figure that out when I get back from JoeFest, if it's going to be a problem. Whew. All right. We have Ostrodamus, who's also going to be at a JoeFest. I'm way off today. Firefly74 joining in here. Ed saying, "All I can say is the quiet drive down all alone will be cherished to quiet time." Me too. We have Cobra Ninja 109, Roll Keeper, who I think I might have already said, Vine Jungle Figure Factory. I know there's got to be some other people. Jody Graves is joining us. I think oh, look, we made it to the end. Plastic Skulls jumping in here. All right, I made it to the end. 62 people watching. Please hit that like button if you haven't. Oh, wait a minute. Wait, we got Firefly and another Firefly? What was the other one? Firefly 74 and Firefly. No opinion on the facial here, but I'm looking forward to hanging with you at JoeFest all the same. I honestly, I put this in here. I try and put a poll up just so I can kind of see how many people tune in throughout the show, because more people will hit this than hit the like button. It makes absolutely no sense. So please hit that like button if you haven't yet. Now, right now, Going Leatherneck is winning by 56%. I'm just saying. Bobby Wool jumping in here say, I clicked for the toy rambling and I got 20 questions about facial hair. Well, it's how I know that you're not a bot. I don't buy subs. I don't buy views. I don't buy all that type of stuff to advance my my stature. I actually earn my subscribers. Not everyone does. U.S. Combat Dojo and Clint Jorgensen jumping in here saying if someone takes first place in the chat, do they get a giveaway at JoeFest? If you find someone to give you something, you will. All right. So as for this weekend, I went out because everyone started getting the latest G.I. Joe wave. If you have the barcode, you can scan it. Then you can get the DPCI, and then you can ask people. All 4 figures are the same DPCI. They're in waves of 4. They're in cases of 4. I saw someone post that they're in cases of 5. I don't believe that's true. I could be wrong. Someone said that it's 1 of each and 2 Frag Vipers. I thought it was in cases of 4. And from the counts that I'm seeing when people pull it up, I think it's in cases of 4. I could be incorrect, but who knows? Either way, you go there, ask them very nicely. Maybe you'll find someone who's willing to go in the back. These things are not going to hit. They're not going to hit the shelves because everyone is out there. Everyone is out there just hounding them because they're not bringing them out because they're meant for the reset. But because they're not street dated, unlike Breaker, the Divers, and all the other Cobra Island figures before, they're going to sit in the back or they're gonna sit back there till they bring them out for the reset. But if you ask and someone's willing to, they'll go back and get them. Stanley says they're in cases of 6. I don't know because I have not seen any. I haven't had any store that has 6 or 12. They're all in that 4 to 8 range. All right, and every time that they open them, they've brought out a specific figures. So I don't know. But I could be wrong. I'm just saying from what I'm looking at rather than what people are telling me, that's kind of what it looks like to me. So Hi It's Me says just go to Target and ask an employee if they go in the back for you. Nothing weird about that. Well, you're not asking to go in the back with them. You give them the DPCI. They look it up. If they have some, say, hey, do you mind going in the back and taking a look for me? If they say, no, we can't do that, you know what you say? Okay, thank you very much. And you walk away. I started doing that, and the lady was like, hey, hold on 1 second. And she grabbed me and said, here. And she walked to one place. She came out with the Frag Viper. She's like, hold on. She's like, I couldn't go get the other ones because my manager was there, and technically we're not supposed to. And as she came down, she's like, let's walk down here because it says we have 2 over here. When I was walking with her, I said, hey, did you used to work at the Rochester one? And she goes, yeah, that place went really downhill. And I said, you helped me out there once too. So thank you very much. She went in, came out with Blowtorch and Footloose, and we chatted. Really nice lady. So again, if you treat people with respect, it's kind of crazy. Sometimes they'll help you out. And she also confirmed that she doesn't want to help anyone out because of how bad the Hot Wheel collectors are. That's all I have to say. As bad as the Hot Wheel collectors are. So Tony's Figs jumping in here saying they found a Frag Viper and Blowtorch for me. Again, just be very nice. All right. What does Dalton say? Be nice. To when? Till it's time not to be nice. There's never a time not to be nice. All right. Because the truth is they're just doing their job. And if they say, hey, I can't go in the back and get it, instead of being a dick and being, well, that's fucking bullshit, you go, hey, you know what? You have a job to do. And it's probably not helping every fucking collector that wants you to go rummage through the back for us. As much as we like it, that's not what their job really is, dude. So, Jeremy Kimberlin saying kindness is everything. They are just doing their job. Exactly. And if they're rude to you, they might, again, they should never be rude to you, but they might be rude to you because they just dealt with someone that was an asshole. So quickly, we have my favorite of the wave is Footloose. All right. I remember everyone saying how boring this figure is, how they really didn't want it in classified. And then all of a sudden when they announced it, everyone was like super excited. I really like him. I know Krusty Old Crow. He did a video, wonderful video. He's a retired veteran in the Canadian military. I know what you're saying. Canada has a military. No, I was surprised too. Krusty wants this to be a deluxe. He wants hands that fit this. He wants a separate law that's in the folded position. I mean, he wants all kinds of stuff. So, I mean, he has all this money. I don't know how he doesn't have the money to fly down to Georgia for JoeFest, but this is my favorite of the wave. Of the three that I got, Blowtorch, who I didn't think was going to be like that great. He's done absolutely wonderful. Everyone has watched this figure. I think he just went over 3,000 views. Really excited. I like this guy, but he's not my favorite. I mean, he really is a sniper's wet dream, in all honesty. Not only is he in red and yellow, he's got a big explosive tank on it, just waiting to get blown up. And then this one, I don't know if anyone saw this. According to the views on my reviews, no one gives a shit about the Frag Viper. I'm just saying. I've never had a Frag Viper going back to my O-ring days. It was after my time. I thought he looked really cool, and even looking like at the O-ring, I thought, wow, that's actually a pretty damn cool looking figure. I like the colors. I don't really care about the face sculpt. I mean, it's cool that they wanted to make him into like a cyborg or cybernetic, basically like a RoboCop. I don't think I'm going to take too many pictures without it, but I do like the Ant-Man looking helmet. I think that's actually pretty cool. So now everyone seems to want to like Dark Law, which I don't know. Like I have nothing with that figure. And I was listening to a Toy Kind of Mood when Krusty O'Crow was on, and Chaz the Guru, who actually showed his face. And you know what that meant? I sent him a message right away and said, hey, now that I know that you'll show your face, do you want to do a Thursday with a friend? Because that's been one of my biggest things. You got to show your face to do a Thursday with a friend. So it's great to actually see Chaz. I've talked to him numerous times, and I had an idea of what he looked like. Travis Moody said something that I'm actually going to agree with. He said, when he mentioned something about the blowtorch and like it didn't seem like too many people were inspired or wanted to see that, and he said, I thought him and Footloose were probably the most popular, and someone argued and said Dark Law, I think I'm saying it right, Dark Law, or have them, was the one that everyone really wanted, or is more popular. And he's like, more popular than Blowtorch or Footloose, and I'm with him. I didn't see that at all. But I don't know anything about it, so I still don't have the figure. I'm really looking forward to it. But he's supposed to be here on, according to the CMD store, he's supposed to be here. When is it? Wednesday, hopefully before I leave. But maybe you guys saw that Instagram post that I posted, and wow, I'll mention that in 1 second. But here, let's get this.
Here comes the money.
Here we go. Money talk.
Here comes the money.
Jay Astro with the super chat saying, had to buy my best buddy a classified blowtorch because I accidentally broke his O-ring. Thanks for the kind words, punk. No, honestly, you do a really good job. It sucks that you lost your account. I know what that's like, even though I got mine back. It sucks. And you do amazing photography. And because I was surprised. I'm like, I know I followed you before. Because I actually remembered who you were. All right. So, quickly, what is this here? I haven't seen this in a while, but I got to hear it.
Welcome to the Creamery.
For a Crocmaster 79, just became a channel member. Thank you very much. Great to have channel members. I'm doing what I can. You'll see a lot of those classic reviews going out. And then when I do Punk's Pit, which it won't be this month. I'm just going to say that right now. Punk's Pit will not be this month. I will do 2 next month, I promise. But when I postponed it, I was going to do it the Friday after I got back from JoeFest, but I have a surprise birthday party to go to. So we're going to be pushing back. I will do 2 the next month, I promise. Anyway, I was going to say something and I totally lost my train of thought. Anyway, we'll come back to it. So anyway, the Dark Lawn. I guess, and I have no connection to them, but I am looking forward to it because they've done such a good job with every single figure that they've done. If you've been watching the retro or the classic videos that I've been doing, I did drop Firefly. I did Firefly. I had I can't think of their name, Wild Weasel, and I pushed back the Rattler till today. So again, with the Rattler, thank you to Aaron the Toy Enhancer. He actually sent that out there. It's the only reason why I have a complete Rattler or any Rattler for that matter. And it's great to have a complete one. I did not close. I did not close the gear, even though I want to say it was Jay Astro that said, "Come on, don't be scared to open and close that gear. Come on." I'm pretty sure he was joking. If you have a Rattler and without broken gear, you just decide how either you want it up or down. Airborne Custom saying my heavy duty arrives Wednesday. Dark Lawn, Blowtorch, and Frag Vipers on Thursday. All from Amazon. Footloose will show mid-July. My Footloose was, I don't know, I thought it was pushed up to the end of June also. The one that I was ordering off Amazon. So that's what I was talking about. First off, I totally forgot that I did this guy so long ago. Like, honest, I did heavy duty so long ago. When people started talking about that he is shipping, I was like, what? Like, I thought you forget because some figures I don't play with that much. And he was one of them. He actually literally just sat there. I finally moved him. And I was kind of like, oh, that's right. He was one of those ones that I got from another place. So I got him way ahead of time and did the review. So congrats to everyone that's finally getting him. MTC jumping in here. And then we have a Triple D's Dungeon. Okay. So I ordered Dark Lawn and Footloose from CMD store. Now, CMD used to ship out of New York. They're no longer shipping out of New York. They ship out of Montreal because they're a Canadian company. But I figured, hey, you know what? They got it early. It was before they started showing up at Target. So I ordered it. If you go ahead, you'll look on Instagram because I went, what the hell is going on here? So when I tracked it, what does it say? But it left on the 10th. All right, whatever. I don't care that it takes longer. I take the risk of ordering from multiple places, knowing that I might get screwed over. Okay, that's the life of a reviewer, how I am, right? It's on me, but it ships from Montreal. It goes through New York. And then I watch it go down to Tennessee. And then it's in Mississippi. Now, mind you, I'm in Detroit, which if you guys don't know, that's Michigan. Now, maybe you don't realize this. Michigan is right next to Canada. And coming from Montreal, they could go through Port Huron. They could go through Detroit, right? Both Michigan. But whatever, it ships to New York. Maybe it's closer. That's logistics. But how it ends up all the way down to Tennessee and then to Mississippi makes absolutely no sense whatsoever. That is the United States Postal Service. I am not blaming CMD Store. It is not on them. That is how they shipped it. But how someone can logistically look at that and be like, hey, this is going to Michigan. We should send you down to Tennessee. That's worse than sending shit to Stark, Ohio. I'm just saying. Whew. Quip has joined us, jumping in here saying, evening all. We got the Shark 110 saying hi to everyone. So yeah, I see the logistics, and this is not the first time. We've seen it with DHL. Logistically, I don't understand. I need someone to sit down and be like, here's what happens. Now, mind you, I also ordered something years ago from a place in Mount Clemens. I live in Mount Clemens, and I watched it go into the Mount Clemens post office. Then I saw it go down to Oak Park, Michigan, which is way past me and then it went down to Ohio. Then it came back up to Oak Park, and then it went to Mount Clemens, and then it got to me. I literally lived like 4 minutes away or 4 miles away from the place. I could have ran and got it. I didn't think that was going to happen. So Sean Forrester is joining us too. Woo. But yeah, just crazy. Like when you think of these logistics, it just makes no sense whatsoever. And again, I know it's not just me that deals with this. Yeah, Matthew, I hate freaking DH. Everyone does. Jason Steele jumping in here. Quip saying, was it FedEx? I recently had them send something back and forth between West Virginia and North Carolina before finally. No, it goes to the Canadian Post Office, and then it went to the United States Post Office. Which, okay, like it shipped out of that same, I'm assuming that same New York area before. And I've never had a problem with it doing this. It's not like it hit Pittsburgh and was like kind of out of the way. It's gone down to Tennessee. Like at this point, I should have just had it shipped to Darren, 3-star draw, and I could have just picked it up at JoeFest. Snowwolf saying, I once had something shipped from China and went from West Coast to the East Coast and back. Yeah, we've looked at a lot of that stuff. I know we've talked about this a lot. We talked about this a lot where some of these things go. I just love to sit down there in a logistics meeting and go, okay, guys, explain this to me. Because I would love to understand how anyone in their right mind figured that this needs to ship down to here. And again, this is not a one-off thing of me. This is not a thing from CMD store. Hell, this is not even just a thing from the United States Post Office. We've seen this numerous times. Cobra saying, Hooded Cobra Commander got some Delta 17 to review. He came out of retirement to review them. No, he came out of retirement a while back, and it's nice to see them sending other reviewer stuff. As I just sit here and I wait. I wait to have to go there and get it from them. Just messing with Ken and Steve. Anyway, the 3-star says, hey, at least they didn't send it through Columbus to get lost for an extra week. Well, I mean, who knows now? It still has a chance to end up in Columbus, all right? Again, it's not here yet. It's not like it's at the Pontiac distribution center, where I assume that it would be by now. But yeah. All right. So quickly, let me say thank you to everyone. This was supposed to be a very easy month for me. Going into JoeFest, I wasn't going to have to do that many lives. I was going to take a little bit of a break while being there, create some content maybe while I'm there. But I ended up getting completely hammered. So I want to say thank you to my moderator, Action Figs, Ed, and Travis Not Fucking Moody for having me on, along with Skunkworks. I absolutely love doing shows with Skunkworks. What a great guy. And Ed and Travis are pretty cool too. But had a fucking blast. If you did not watch that, you need to go back and watch that last episode of the Toy League Takeover, because Travis, with his questions, is fucking mind-blowing. Absolutely mind-blowing. The questions that he asks, and he asks all real American hero questions, which I know a lot of the other two guys are like, maybe you should have asked some other ones, but he even got some wrong. Like, he actually thought that Sergeant Slaughter was an actual Marine. We had a blast. I had a lot of fun. So please go check that out if you haven't. That was on Tuesday. On Wednesday, I jumped on with Darren and Pop Blender for Deuces Wild. Did I get it right? I think I got it right. Maybe I didn't. Darren has like multiple shows on the same night. Fix that. So I had a crash jumping in here saying, "Hoodie Cobra Commander is boring. You are way better reviewer." I'm not saying that at all. I did see that I got it, and he just listen. The guy is known for his O-ring stuff. Wonderful reviewer. Great audience and everything. So Donald, I'm not going to try and pronounce the end. What up? Hope you enjoy it, Joe. Oh, I'm going to have a blast at JoeFest. I already know it because you can't stop having a good fucking time. Seven's wild. All right. Well, you know what? Pick one fucking name and pick one fucking show. And then it'll be a lot easier for everyone. I'm just saying. All right. Woody, same time Joe, right? Same time toys. Right? It's Smoking Joe's. I know that. Oh, anyway. I had a good time. I wasn't able to stay the whole time. Because I kind of forgot that I was going to be on Ed's show, and I still had to go over and record the TV terminal and do Murderbot because we had to get that episode out. So I kind of had to maneuver things because, we were on that other show that I do with Baldy Locks, Terry, Tony, and Spec on Tuesday and Wednesday. Thursday, thank you to Rowdy Riles. She did a wonderful job. She has a hell of a story. For someone being in her early 30s, it was awesome. Also easier to make it a shorter one because she has less life to talk about, but she has a very interesting story. Some sad parts for sure, but please go check her out. Again, hit a subscribe to her channel because she puts a lot of work into it. I think now she said she's taking a short little break, but go ahead, check it out. I think you're going to enjoy it, and I think you'll enjoy listening to her. I know I had a good time talking with her. Now I got to say thank you to Woody and Same Time Toys, Shane, and their producer, Just Jeff, who I want to say this. They asked me to come on Saturday, and I had a blast. Jeff, I love what you do producing that show, how you jump on for a second, give a quick little answer or a statement, and then you jump off. Like you don't leave enough time for someone to counter you or to go into a discussion because you just need to get in there. You're going to say whatever you're going to do, whatever you need to say, and then you're off or to counter something. I love it. I think it's very entertaining. So I'm going to tell you guys, keep up what you're doing because I've seen a lot of people that do Saturday shows that do wonderful. And you guys are right there. You guys have something special. And I guess, again, I really enjoy what you're doing. So, and then this week I have, Gungo Mike, his Gungo Mike podcast. So Gungo Mike is growing up, growing old. His podcast has been recorded for about a month and a half because I will be on my way to JoeFest. So I doubt I'll be able to jump in the stream. I know I wasn't last year when the one with Toy Connections went up. So please check it out this Thursday. If you like hardcore, you like punk, you like music, you're going to hear a lot of talk about that. Like that's what we really got into. Again, I know Derek will enjoy that. So please check that out. I love being able to do these recorded ones and just have them loaded and ready to go. It's not as interesting because there is no obviously questions and answers, but I had a blast with him, and he does a really good podcast. It's not going to be for everyone, but he hits all kinds of different things. So we got 610 Yo Joe Daddy jumping in here. We got Frank Dumania jumping in. Woo! All right. So I think I hit everything. I think I hit everything that I want to hit. Oh yeah, what I have coming off of the classic reviews this week. We're getting to the end of Series 3. The Manta. A lot of you guys have already seen this stuff. The Manta is up. And then Zartan. Unfortunately, I don't have a swamp skier. And then I'll have the asp. So those are already locked and loaded. And then when I get back from JoeFest, I have to start doing some more because it's time to start Series 4. And I wanted to wait till I got back, see what I have. Johnny Reno, if you're listening right now, please, if you have a list of what you were going to send me, send it over now so I can kind of go through what I might be looking for there. So we got Victor jumping in here saying Poll should have included another option, a dye beard orange in tribute to Xandar. I have never dyed anything on my body. I've never dyed any hair. I've never had any piercings. I have no tattoos. I don't ever want to dye anything. Although this is getting so gray and it's kind of getting lost. Getting lost in the facial features. So. And Terrence jumping in here saying, "See you at JoeFest. Are you gonna have your wagon to knock people over with?" Matthew says, "I have half a swamp scare, but you haven't put up early views for members. So much for members benefits." No, I've been putting up every single one of them. Vehicles I put up for Super Toy Enablers. Figures I put up for everyone, all channel members. So I do put them up, and that's one of the difference. So all vehicles go up for Super Toy Enablers, if you're wondering. So, Virgo Cool says, Hi 93, feels like 98 for Saturday and Sunday. JoeFest, it's going to be hot as fuck there. Dress and hydrate accordingly." I was out in the sun here in Michigan for quite some time yesterday. I have a hell of a farmer stand right now. It doesn't look as bad here. It doesn't look as bad. I actually went and used the tanning at Planet Fitness today, and I'm going to try and do it the next couple of days to maybe weather some of that so it kind of meshes a little bit better. No. Yeah, I felt like I'm in preparation at that game. I felt like I was like kind of I feel like I'm in preparation for that. So yeah, but honestly, when you walk there, if you walk out into town, you are going to get hit with 95, 96 degree, probably pure sun and almost 100% humidity. So Legend series jumping in here. Also, I had a great time with him. Also, he was on this Saturday when we were doing Smoking Joe's. I do not smoke. I think most people know that, but it doesn't matter. Still had a blast. Anyway, whew. Okay, so Virgo, I want to say, everyone complained that it was super cold in the venue. I didn't think it was cold at all. I don't remember having any issues. And I actually wore shorts. And normally I don't wear shorts. And everyone was like, "Dude, you said you never wore shorts and all you wore was shorts the whole time." And I'm like, I know. It was kind of weird. But anyway, the links, the sponsors. Hella Dope Toys, use my code APWT. You get 10% off your entire order. I know a lot of people have been buying the Joe stuff. The people that are not worried about getting it first, the Marvel Legends stuff, they've been going there using my code. They may have to pay ahead of time. They may just put down the 10%. But you know what? Use that code APWT and you'll get 10% off. Also, when I put the Amazon links up, use those. If you're gonna go to Entertainment Earth, and nobody does anymore, although they've decided to change bring their prices down to MSRP, which is nice. So maybe some people will start buying from Entertainment Earth. I haven't even bothered mentioning them anymore because no one even wants to bother with them. It's really that bad. It's like they almost don't want people to fucking buy shit from them. Woo! All right. Payne's Toy Assemblers jumping in here, and we got Lunchbox Killer. But you know what? It's time to get into the news. But you know what we do before that? We have to hear something from our sponsor. And I know Tony's Figs is in the chat, and he absolutely loves this guy.
Oh, hey guys. So Lawrence, he had to step away for a little bit. he's got a case of the Grumble Duff. So he asked me to kind of watch over a stream. He put me in charge of y'all. He said to me, "Oh, Moss Man, I have a case of the Grumble Duff, and I need you to watch my cell for a little bit so nobody leaves and finds out that there's more interesting things to watch on YouTube. And also, I hate Ohio." So I was like, oh, dang, so now I have to come up with a topic for my very own show. And I was like, oh, what about talking about your favorite toy stores? So my favorite toy store is HelloDopeToys.com. So they used to have this really bad website. It used to look real scammy. Like if I gave them money, they were going to go spend it on like blow and hookers. But now their website is really nice. And like I can just go in and do like 1-2 click. And then my order's placed. And they ship super fast, guys. They ship everything in 1 business day. So, like, I get all my toys first. So when I'm out there on the playground and all my friends are like, oh, dang, Mouse Man, where'd you get that action figure? I still have to wait 17 months for mine. And I'm just like, well, I went to HelloDopeToys.com and I just pushed the buttons and then they shipped it out to me. And the packaging is so nice, guys. Like, I opened up the box and I was like, oh, I don't deserve this. I don't deserve this kind of packaging. It's so nice. But then my trash can gets full because of all the packing stuff. And I was just like, oh dang, I just changed the trash. But now I gotta change the trash again. Oh, you're right, Matthew Matson. You can use the code APWT at HelloDopeToys.com and save 10% on your order. So how that works is, so you're gonna save 10%. And then a Punk with Toys, he has to pay that 10% that y'all save. So if you don't like Lawrence, you can just go to HelloDopeToys.com and just buy a bunch of stuff and rack up his bill. So then like at the end of the month, they're like, Hello Toys is like, oh, Lawrence, you owe us $1 million because of all the 10% codes that everybody used. And yeah, that's how that works. Okay, guys, so it looks like it's time for me to go now. So make sure you go to HelloDopeToys.com and like and subscribe. And then in the comments, put what your favorite toy store is. But if it's not HelloDopeToys.com, I'm probably just going to delete it, okay? So, all right, guys, bye!
All right, so we had a few people jumping in. We got Action Figure Addict jumping in, who will be a guest soon on Thursday with a friend. And then we have Red Nam jumping in saying classic Larry. That one actually makes me laugh. We got Russell Lemieux right here saying, oh no, I'm sorry, I still hear that I hate Ohio, and now I don't think I can ever say Ohio again like that. Skunkworks Studios, who I just said a bunch of kind words about you. It was great being on the show with you last Tuesday, at least on Ed and Travis. I had a blast with you. And then we have Talib jumping in here. Sorry if discussed. Did anyone notice that the official G.I. Joe page had a post on the Legacy Police Officer and stated it would go on sale this week at around 6 a.m.? All right, so no. This was sent over to me by Matthew Matson, and I looked at it right before I jumped on. It is on the G.I. Joe Classified Instagram page. It is not on the G.I. Joe one, nor the Hasbro one. Unless if it's gone up since then. That's what the G.I. Joe Classified. I do not believe that has anything to do with actually Hasbro. Because I saw that and I was going to mention it. I'm like, I better double check this. And it was the G.I. Joe Classified page, which isn't the G.I. Joe page. So if I'm wrong, please let me know. But yeah. And then we got, let's see here. We got Roughshot jumping in here. Now that's that skunk ape there. Pumpkin chat. What's shaking? Matt O'Brien jumping in here, and I feel like someone needs to say something. Yes.
I was just wondering if you got the fudge from Grandpa's, or did you forget?
Did I get not? Oh shit.
See, aren't you so happy?
All right. My daughter just asked if I remember to go over my dad's and get the fudge, because he bought fudge when they went up north, and I keep forgetting to go over there and grab it. I don't know when I'm gonna have time to go do it. I don't have time tomorrow. I'll switch. I'll get over there before. Anyway, thank you.
Yeah.
All right.
I'll call you tomorrow.
Roll Keeper saying you are correct. I believe that you must be talking about the police officer. We're gonna get it. We are going to get it. Yeah, well, my dad literally does this whole like, hey, we got this fudge for you. You need to come over today and get it. That was last week. And I'm like, I can't just, you're not in my way to get home all the time. And you're not always there. But it's from, again, if anyone's from Michigan, they know Mackinac Island or Mackinac. They're known for their fudge. And I'll get it and it'll be gone before I get home. So it's not like I'll really get to enjoy it, but it doesn't really matter to me. Yeah. Oh no, sorry, Dad. I totally forgot to come and get the fudge. Hey, Matthew sent it, and Matthew sent it, and I was looking for it, and then I had to go back and see what post that he sent. I'm like, that's a Jedi Classified page. It looks like it has nothing to do with actually Hasbro. It's gonna come, all right. I mean, it's going to come for sure. And Bill K jumping in here. Damn it, I hate opening a fig just to realize it takes batteries, and I don't have any. That's a woman problem. They open up a toy and they need batteries. And Baldy Fuck's jumping in here saying vanilla fudge or chocolate. Chocolate. Although the chocolate peanut butter fudge is really good too. But I always ask for chocolate whenever my dad goes up there for sure. Whew. Anyway, let's get into a little bit of toy news. I guess since Baldy's here, do we have a show tomorrow? Did you ever send a thumbnail or a link for the show? Because I truly don't know, because I took a nap and then woke up in a total frantic at 8:35, not realizing what time it was. All right. Uncle Todd is back. Lots of toys, and I didn't put 1,000, I did not put 1,000 different pictures in. But again, I go through them. I try and do as many. So let's just get this out of the way before we even start.
I don't go through all the graphics before the show.
All right, so this is where I'm going to need your help. So here's Big A-Man. Is this Toy Gains? He's got a big A there on his chest. Who the fuck is this guy? Anyway, this is the little 5-inch figures, 4-inch figures. I don't know, whatever the fuck they are. I know everyone loves them. All right. Well, some people like him. Tony does. So anyway, Big A-Man, orange, blue, yellow hair. Got some sweet ass goggles and a soft goods cape. I mean, a soft goods jacket, which I think looks awesome. Animal Man, thank you. Look at Animal Man. Look at this. Mendoza, Skunk Works. We got Nolan, Same Time Toys. Thank you very much. This is where I need the participation, okay? This is why I ask you guys, should I shave for JoeFest? Should I keep the same facial hair, go leatherneck, or trim that bitch? I can't believe that leatherneck's only at 46, but there's 84 votes, 96 people, and how many likes we have right now? We had 96 people just watching and only 50 likes. Please hit that like button if you haven't already. I would agree with that if I ever saw anything at Ross. All right. So anyway, if you're interested in this, again, you're coming down to the end. This is what, I wonder if these are going to go up in price, if they're going to be something that is sitting there and actually starting to, they're starting to go up in price, maybe just due to the fact that they're going to be done. All right. Cyborg. Now, this might just be a big fuck you, considering isn't this figure like worth a shit ton of money? The original Superpowers, right? Superpowers. Isn't this one worth like just a boatload of money? So here you go. If you need one for your collection, Uncle Todd is giving this to you at the end, saying, you know what? Here you go. And Lone Dragon says, that's ass man. Guess what he does? Whatever. Yeah, no vac metal, but again, they can't do vac metal. Remember, that's what we've been told 100 times now. No one can do vac metal, although they do vac metal. But if people just want this as a standalone in their, in their collection, right? If they just want this in their collection, and you're like, hey, you know what? I need a cyborg. Here you go. Here is Devil Man. What the fuck is this guy? He looks kind of cool. He's got the big D. He's popping that collar. But yeah, well, there used to be a lot of vac metal stuff, Sean. There used to be a lot of vac metal. And the reason why they said they can't do it is they said the vac metal doesn't really adhere to the plastic that they're using, these days. And again, I mean, I can believe them. They're not the only ones that have said it. And this is Dead Man, Sean Forrester. I think he does look pretty cool. I mean, I know nothing about him, but I do like the big popped collar. It looks like he's kind of hiding his head in there. So pretty cool there. And we got JMK Custom jumping in here saying, "Oh, Dead Man, what's good, sir?" Well, he doesn't look dead to me, so I guess that's good for him. John Battle jumping in here. Now, I do know Disco Nightwing. I love Nightwing. I don't know if I'm cool with. I don't know if anyone needs a Disco Nightwing. You know what? I know people need them, and if people want them, here you go. Again, I do wonder what Uncle Todd's going to do, because he is pushing out he's pushing the shit out. And I know people they want to get complete sets. He might not have time to do it. I know I was talking to Tony, and he's hoping to get some stuff, but they might not have time, to finish everything. So Afflicted Studios jumping in here saying, "Hello all. Afflicted Studios, I want to say awesome job with you supporting Same Time Toys and Woody this weekend. You did an awesome job. I can't even explain to you after the show exactly how much you made fucking Shane's day. So thank you very much, because I like seeing other people get super happy knowing that what they're doing, people are excited about, and people show that in support, and you were supporting them like crazy. So anyway, here's a Nightwing if you're going to need them. Yeah, I'm not sure how many more of these superpowers are going to be pushed out there, but just remember the old superpowers at the end of it. Those ones that didn't, like, they were the last wave of the original ones, they shot up in price. So this could be the same thing, or they could be sitting at Walmart forever and they can't give them away. So, and then we have these two. Now, I know nothing about these. Once again, as I will reiterate here,
I don't go through all the graphics before the show.
So, I watched, if I am correct, I believe Robo Don't Know. He talked about these. I don't know what they are. It's obviously this Wonder Woman's logo, big hunking piece right there. Just Jeff says, I think that's from Dark Knight Metal. So he has two different figures on here. A Joker who laughs last. Shark Guy. The Shark 110 says the Merciless from Dark Knight Metal. Okay, thank you. And again, I don't know who it is, but he does look pretty cool. I will openly admit that. These bigger figures that he does, I bet. Well, I wonder if they have the same the same issue with, like, if he does any molds like the same as Marvel or Hasbro, they have to give them Marvel or give those molds over to Marvel, Disney with Star Wars and like Legends, Marvel Legends. But yeah. So I don't know if there's any reuse with Spawn, because I could fully see that being there. And Nelock 28 saying Batman who laughs. Isn't that Batman who laughs? Something like that. I don't know. I told you. Like, all right. So now we have Superboy. Now this was like a McFarlane like blast, right? Like they just blasted a whole bunch of shit. There was 128 stills, I think. So anyway, we got Superboy, who I think looks pretty damn cool. Not perfect, but you don't ever get perfection from McFarlane. I do think this Superboy looks pretty good. I like the colors. Looking at the shoulders there, you can see it doesn't seem to make too much sense. But either way, other than that, I think it looks good. I think that's something that maybe people might paint, but that's hard to really do because of that little black round shoulder cup there is going to cause all kinds of issues. So, and there's the back of them. And again, that's the only issue that I can really see other than the giant pins. I know Tony loves pins, but again, good looking figure in my opinion. Then there's this Wonder Woman. I feel like I've seen this Wonder Woman like 1,000 times now. I'm not saying in stores, but I've seen it like 1,000 times, the stills and everything. It looks absolutely awful. I think it's how it's supposed to look, but I think it looks awful. If it's something you're into, it's something that you want, then awesome. I love that people can get stuff that they want. Russell Lemieux says Warhammer Outback. It does look like Old Man Outback, doesn't it? Holy shit, dude. It really does. Damn, dude. I knew I was looking at that head like he looks familiar, but I couldn't really nail it. And you're right. It looks like Old Man Outback. So anyway, this Wonder Woman, if it's something you are interested in, something that you need, go out and get it. I think it looks awful. But I think there's a lot of people that probably want something that looks something like this. Then we have, I believe this is her boyfriend, right? Steve. I can't think of his that. Who is this? Jeff, you'll know who this is. Steve. Chris Pine. I think this looks really good. Now, what I will say about this, Steve Trevor, thank you. This here would go perfect with your Sergeant Rock. So I'm actually tempted to get it just so I can have another figure that fits the same scale as Sergeant Rock, because it all would work together, right? I mean, for the most part, we mix and match our military styles for them. And I think it looks good. Like, I like the suit. I like the hat and everything that's going with it. His dumb face that it looks like he's a punchable face here. But either way, I think this looks pretty good. And here's the back of him. But yeah, this might be one that I just pick up just because I can put him with Sergeant Rock, because the only figure that I can really use with Sergeant Rock military is that not the not roadblock that Mythic Legions did, or Four Horsemen did. So it looks like Duke. Yeah, I mean, I can kind of see it, but when you think of Steve Trevor, I think it also fits as Steve Trevor also. Joe Fan 84 saying JoeFest, 4 days to JoeFest. You know what? JoeFest starts on Thursday. All right, Ed, would you agree? JoeFest starts on Thursday, because that's what I'm getting in. That's when a lot of people are getting in. So to me, JoeFest weekend starts Thursday and it ends Monday morning. But technically, you are right. So, purple Batgirl? I don't know. Like, what is this? Like, as I say, I put these in because I know people are interested. Spoiler. It's not like it's a spoiler. It's a sexual spoiler. 100 people watching. Please hit that like button if you haven't. I need to get something for when I hit 100. Some sort of special little thing showing, that I hit 100. It happens it happens from time to time. Ed says we'll be there Thursday, so yep, starts Thursday. Hey, you heard it from Ed. You know, he's a bigger G.I. Joe guy than I am. So if Ed says it, that's when it starts. Like I said, I drive there today and sit in the fucking lobby if they'd let me. Again, soft goods cape. I don't really know anything about Spoiler. I do remember her, but I don't remember her having a bat symbol. But I'm assuming she must have. Todd does stay fairly close to what is actually in the comics and stuff, suit wise, and what's on them. Mark Harkness jumping in and say, I like to treat I don't know what that is, DCU Wonder Woman as Captain America prequel anyway. But it's too big. Like, that's the problem. That, they're just too big, unfortunately. That's been the biggest gripe of everyone when it comes to McFarlane, is that he did a different size, a different scale that everyone hates. I do like the colors on this spoiler here, and again, the soft goods cape. This is just one of those things. It's like, here's Uncle Todd, $20 figures, maybe they're 22 now. Soft goods. Everyone at this point should be using soft goods cape. We should not have any more of the plastic capes. They're useless. They just get in the way. They don't work, right? And Bill K says, I like the purple on black. Yeah, I do too. I think it works. I think it really works. So Just Jeff says she's Cluemaster's daughter. She made the spoiler identity spoil her father's plans, and then the character changed. She was Batgirl, then she wasn't, etc. It was a whole thing. Sounds very convoluted there. So anyway, here's the back of her. As you can see, a nice soft goods cape. I don't know what the hell that was. And then here we have another Batman. I know. What is McFarlane going to do when he's not making 100 Batman? Will we make 100 Spawn? So I like this one. Again, it still falls into, I can't do anything with, I have one McFarlane Batman. I can't do anything with them, right? They're just too big to even do photography with everything else that we have. So I really hope Mattel fixes that. But I think all in all, this figure looks good. Yes, this is just a repaint, but I do like the dark gray, the dark blue on them, and I like the way that the utility belt just pops in that yellow and the classic looking Batman symbol. So I think this looks really good. And again, if you're like, hey, I just need a Batman on my shelves, I'm not going to do photography with it. This is one that I could say, hey, you know what, is fully worth doing that. Then there's the back of him, and he has more like he doesn't really have that cloth soft goods, which I think is actually pretty good because I don't think of Batman as having like a cloth cape. His is more like a tactical cape that's, some sort of experimental, fabric that's bulletproof and can fly and do all different things like this. As long as you have that wire in it, you can make it, do all kinds of stuff. Although there is no wire at the bottom, just because it's that classic, Batarang style at the bottom. And then there's, someone help me out. Jeff, tell me, who is this guy? He looks pretty cool. He looks like something that should be pulled directly out of, like, if he had no articulation other than his hands moving, something directly out of a McDonald's toy. Monarch. All right. No, Onslaught, which he does kind of look like Onslaught, like the look wise, not the color. He does kind of look like Onslaught, but as most of us know, Onslaught is is Marvel property. And then we have Karis Lupin or Cirrus. I don't know, dude. Karis Lupin. I think I've asked this like 100 times. We've just accepted I'm never going to get it right. But anyway, Monitor looks pretty cool. A Monarch. Here's the back of them. Like just a chunky figure. And I really do think sometimes when they have these big chunky figures, they're able to hide stuff. They're able to hide how the pins are sitting there just kind of sticking out just because you have so much stuff going on there. So I think it's pretty good. Okay, the second time you got it right. Did I say Cirrus Lupin? I don't remember what I said the second time. Sean Forrester jumping in here. We got War Chest full of toys jumping in here saying, looks like a failed bad guy from Captain Planet. I don't remember any. I remember Captain Planet, but I don't remember any bad guys. I don't remember anything that it was. Yeah, it looks like Imaginext. You know what? You're absolutely right, Nolan. It has that Imaginext look to it. Yeah, I'm with you 100% there. So here we have another Nightwing, Disco Nightwing. I know Matthew, your wife. I think that's her favorite superhero. I think we already discussed this one before when they showed off some digital renders of him. I mean, it looks like what Nightwing looked like when he was Disco Nightwing. Not my favorite look for Nightwing, that's for sure. But, you know, if this is what you're looking for, and I could see why people might be, I think you should grab it. I mean, everything else, I mean, he looks like he's supposed to. Man, those rings around the shoulders look awful. Liquid Identity says, I gotta start coming in after McFarlane news. Sorry, Liquid Identity. All right. Someone help me out with this guy, but he looks good. All right, this guy looks really fucking good. Other than the plastic cape, but this one I kind of understand why there is a plastic cape because I think it kind of works. But I think this one looks really good. Mr. Miracle, thank you very much. Everyone saying Jason S. jumping in Mr. Miracle, Shark, Skunk Works. Like I said, I throw these in here. I don't know who everyone is. I think this one looks really good. This is not something that I would really normally want, nor do I don't really want it now. Random says that's Dr. Christmas. But I think this looks good. Like all those colors really work well together. I think the face sculpt look on this looks good, and I'm willing to bet there are people that are really happy with this. But the plastic cape is again that is the one downfall. But I kind of look at the way this cape is supposed to be made. And it makes sense, like why they would do a plastic cape rather than a soft goods cape. And here we have, I don't know who this guy is. I didn't even look. He looks like the guys from Mad, right? Wasn't it Mad? The Mad magazine. Graph says it's COVID, man. Oh, you guys are something else.
Fucking Phil Collins.
And that's Crash with a member for 22 months. Holy shit, I can't believe. I know we talked about this last week. I can't believe it's been that damn long. The Shark, oops, here's Skunkworks saying Sandman, but so did the Shark right here. So, Sean Forrester. War Chest even knew that it was the right. You got it right. Spy vs. Spy. Yes. Thank you. Again, I look at these characters and I just think how awesome they would be if they were in 6-inch form. Because this is something you could use in your Marvel, your Marvel Legends, your G.I. Joe Classified, especially for like Headman, something like that on Cobra's side. But unfortunately, you don't get that chance. Big giant diaper right there. I definitely see that. Here's the back of them. again, the trench coat, which is split, so you can actually move the legs, which is actually pretty cool right there. And then Crash gifted 1 Punk membership, which that means it goes to the
Welcome to the Creamery.
and that goes out to Bill K. So thank you very much, Crash. Greatly appreciated. Again, not my favorite figure, but again, I'm also not collecting this type of stuff. We got Odin01 jumping in here saying, I would love a Mezco Sandman. Would look great with the Shadow Dick Tracy. I would have to agree with you. With a nice soft good trench coat like this. You know what, Odin? Again, not something that I would want, but I think you are right on. I think that would look awesome Mezcoized. Now this one. Now this is, I think they said Night Quest Azrael. Now, I love Nightfall. I liked Batman having his back broken. I liked Azrael becoming this crazy ass Batman. I loved watching the suit change. And then I liked watching Batman take the suit away, take Azrael away as being Batman. And I loved seeing Dick Grayson become Batman. And I still go back to the interaction that he had with Commissioner Gordon when he shows up as, and I don't even remember what episode or what comic it was, like what issue, but he says something about, he's shorter than Bruce, where Azrael was not. He was roughly the same. And when he has a talk with Commissioner Gordon, and he goes, you're not him though. And he's like, does it matter? And he was like, you did with the other guy. And I've always said that there's only one Batman, and that is Bruce Wayne. The second one would be Terry McGinnis, but that is after Bruce Wayne can no longer. But if Bruce Wayne cannot be Batman, it should be Dick Grayson, right? He was fucking groomed. And that is a fucking wrong, awful word to say, but he was groomed to be the next Batman. He's one of the few people that Bruce Wayne looks as his equal. Well, as equal as can be. I don't think Bruce Wayne looks at anyone as his equal. But I love this, and I like this, and I might actually pick this up. Because maybe you can do some fighting with Spawn. The Spawn that I have. So I do like this one. I know it's just a repaint. It's got like it's not a metal cape. I don't even know what the back spikes are considered, but I love this. And Bill K agreeing, I'm assuming agreeing with the whole Batman thing. Yeah. This is not a soft goods cape. This sure isn't. It's more like a porcupine. Jeff is saying, good God, give us the blue, gray, and gold. Didn't he already do that, though? I thought he already did it. But you're right. You are absolutely right. That's one of those things where, dude, if I'm Todd at the end, I'm just I'm reproducing every fucking thing that I can, just so they sit on the pegs as long as Mattel has the license. Snowwolf says, yeah, the comics when Dick Grayson was Batman were great. I love it because that's when I was really reading the comics, especially the Batman. And there's such a difference between Bruce Wayne and Dick Grayson. Like they both want the same things, but they both will do them in a different way to get to the same, the same place. So I really like thinking of Dick Grayson as being Batman at times. So, Skunkworks says Tony Stark loves the Batman costumes. Skunkworks hates Iron Man. The real Richard Sampson jumping in there saying sub punk. All right. And then we have, this is Batwing 2. And the only reason why I know Batwing 2 was because I listened to Robo Don't Know, and Robo was like, I saw this as Batman #2, and I just thought it meant that it was the second version of him. But I think it's supposed to be a whole different character. I don't know. I wasn't Jeff. Maybe you can kind of Batwing, Lucius Fox, but I thought he was always. Did he have a different bat look? Wasn't Lucius Fox's son always Batwing? So it does look good. They went overboard with the Bat family. Now that's not a McFarlane thing. This is a and again, I wasn't reading it, but when you constantly hear, it's like, all right, and enough with the Bat family. All right, like try and do something a little bit different. You can only have so many Batmen, right? But he does have his little blast effect to make sure that he's flying. He's got his wings. They don't look like the greatest wings in the world, but technically, I guess they do work. But yeah, a good repaint because I do believe we've already got this. Hi, it's me saying, my goodness, does everyone become a Batman at some point in the storyline? Yes, yes, I think they do. And then, oh, God. Now I don't mind the big long ears of Batman. This I remember specifically during the Nightfall. During the Nightfall series, him having these big wings or these big ears, and I remember having a nice talk with the comic book, the guy that owned the comic book store, and he hated them, and they didn't really bother me. I like the exaggeration. But what the fuck is up with this guy's nose? Is this broken nose Batman or something? Now I'm not a huge fan of the, of the black and yellow in this version. I think of black and yellow. I think more of, Batman '89 and some of the other bat suits, but not this one. But what's up with the nose and what it looks like the chin is like sticking out? Like I don't get like this. Not my favorite look. It does have a soft goods cape. Everything up to that head sculpt, I'm cool with. Even though, like I said, I'm not a big fan of the black on yellow like this, or the yellow on black, I guess you could say. But it's another Batman, and he's going to produce as many as possible. Graf says that's Alfred as Batman. Oh, okay. I guess that makes sense then. It doesn't look good. Is it really Alfred as Batman? Because I guess that doesn't make sense. Oh, you're lying. Oh, well. Because it looks more like that would make more sense, doesn't it? So here's the back of them. Again, nice soft goods cape. Not that like soft not the soft goods that you're used to. All right, so Beast Boy. Now I was listening to Robo. Again, I watch Robo because a lot of times he'll go over things that I may have missed, so it's easier for me to, oh hey, you know what? I totally missed that. So Beast Boy comes with a snake and a rat that he can turn into. Also a piece of pizza. I believe he's an exclusive, and he said that there's a third animal that they weren't showing yet that he can also turn into. I think this Beast Boy looks really good. I think that face sculpt is really good. And if I am correct, I believe Matthew Matson, my moderator, said that a lot of these, most of these head sculpts are actually fit with 1/12 scale, like 6-inch figures. So you can move them onto 6-inch figures. But I think this head sculpt looks really good. I can see people are going to buy it just for that piece of pizza, right? The little slice of pizza, a couple little animals. You're just going to have to repaint them because it's supposed to be what he turns into. But I'm wondering what the third animal is going to be. So, but again, I think this is a pretty good looking Beast Boy. I mean, I think it's hard to really have a complaint about this if that's what you're looking for. Grizzlehorn jumping in here saying, people big mad about pepperoni on that pizza. Is that because he's a vegetarian? I mean, like, I'm trying to think because I know a Beast Boy because of Teen Titans Go. If only that pizza had pineapple. Yeah, okay, yeah, he is. And again, but I was trying to think because they have the burrito song and the burger song. I should get my daughter in. Did anyone watch Teen Titans Go? Do you remember the burrito song? Olivia knows it. I wonder if I can get her to sing it on cue. But if you've ever seen Teen Titan Go, I think Teen Titans Go is awesome. I love that show. They have so many awesome songs and everything. So, but again, I think this head sculpt looks really good. Told you there's a lot of McFarlane stuff. And then this is Mirror Man with dual guns. That looks like he has 2 holsters, but there's no way those guns are going to fit in the holsters. I think it's a Mirror Man, right? I might be completely wrong. I thought he said it was Mirror Man. But again, it looks good. Very just sleek body with the 2 guns and nice head sculpt. Everything looks good. Again, this is McFarlane. This is like the best you're gonna get in my opinion. Are those holsters or are they just pockets? I don't know. Maybe you just weren't carrying those guns everywhere. But there you go. And then we get this here. Now I can see people buying this just for the chair. Jeff, you're in. Who the hell is this guy? Jeremy Kimberlin saying, I love Teen Titans Go. The Oregon Trail episode is epic. I can't think of that one. I'm sure I know it if I saw. We watched so much of those, man. Jai Bro says, I sang the waffle song at the DC booth at Comic-Con to win my daughter a sketch from the comic book artist. That's awesome. But you should have had your daughter sing it. The Shark says, this is Metron. I can see people wanting to get this just for the chair. Now, if that chair, if the back piece is not a suction cup to hang it on to a window, then it's a lost opportunity right there, missed opportunity. But again, I think this is really cool. And I think if anyone pops it off, you can use that for anything. So I can only imagine it's probably going to be what, $50. Here's the figure. Again, very basic figure. A little bit of paint apps on it. Weird head because that's what he has. So, MCR says, remember Sucker Man? I do not. Yeah, Skunk. Yeah, the sculpt is clean. I mean, some of these sculpts are really good for him. Cressio Crow says, Punk, you want this to be a deluxe set? I don't want it at all. But if you're going to give someone a chair, that's probably going to be. But yeah, this is just one of the regular, clean, basic bucks. I think it looks good. I don't know if that's how the figure looks. I'm assuming it does. Again, I think, Todd has his downfalls, but I think for the most part, he nails a lot of the stuff. Deadshot here. I believe it's Deadshot, right? I think I got this one right. I think this guy looks pretty damn cool. I always like the colors on him. He has the disco boots, so him and when him and Nightwing are not at odds, they can go out to the club, get that disco ball going, and I think Deathstroke, Deadshot, like they both have DS in them. I can't get that thing to go away. Anyway, good looking figure. It looks like he has a bullet belt. He looks like Spider-Man from this angle. I'm not down with the disco boots, but maybe that's how he's supposed to look. Yeah, or as Teen Titans, yes, as Teen Titan fans, that's Slade. They are correct. Whew. And there's the back of them, and that's the end of McFarlane. Whew, my gosh. That's a lot of McFarlane. He always puts on a lot. Are you happy, Graph? Look at that. Ninja Pirate. Whew. All right. And there's only like 2 slides of each figure. Man, there's so many. Okay. So Star Wars put on a stream, unlike G.I. Joe, who did not put on a stream. And, well, a lot of times I look at the Star Wars stream and I'm like, all right, that's cool. We've seen in years past where they do a stream, and then there was the 1 year they did a stream and released a bunch of stuff, and then G.I. Joe put out like 5 or 4 digital renders, and I know Chaz had a boatload of memes of them smashing through it like with the train because the G.I. Joe renders look so much better. So we get the Star Wars stream. There's also a Transformers one. We're not talking about that. And I want to just discuss this. We'll discuss all of them. I just want to say this fucking set has me thinking I might spend $110 to get it. That is the rumor that I've heard, that this is $110. I don't know if that was confirmed or not. These are completely new figures. And this is San Diego Comic-Con exclusive, which means you'll probably be able to get it elsewhere. Anakin and Obi-Wan. This set is so good. Johnny, you're absolutely right. This is a sweet set. Airborne is okay. Airborne Custom saying that is confirmed. Okay, cool. I think I might spend $110 on this. This is what they showed off. They fucking nailed exactly what this is supposed to be. It does not come with lava, but it comes with enough. It comes with enough that all you need to do is create some sort of lava, and you'll be more than happy. And I don't know if you're being funny, J Astro. I don't know if you didn't see this. Like, they nailed this. So Anakin and Obi-Wan are completely new sculpts. It was funny to hear them talk about how this new designer that came in, I really like. There's a foreign guy that's on the team. I don't know if he's the designer or not. He has a lot of energy. I really like his energy. Every stream that I've seen him on, he's been awesome. They gave him boot cuts, which they don't have. They talked about how soft the plastic is. It's very pliable, so they can get all the Jedi moves in, all their kicking in. They talked about the butterfly joints. They have different wrists, which I really like. So they're like, it has different wrists, so it can move back and forth. So it's just not up or down or side to side. It's 360, 360 motion. Dominic Johnson jumping in and saying, "Hey, Punk, when you get to it, what do you think about the price point of the TIE Fighter for $150 without lights and sound?" Oh, well, we're going to talk about that. And it was only $140, all right? I'm not saying that's any better. So, they gave so much shit to this. And yet there are some lava to it. Yeah, I was being a smartass or a dumbass. So it comes with this. It comes with the robot that Anakin jumps on. I think 4 different lightsaber effects, force push hands. They really fucking nailed this. All right. I mean, this thing is a scene in a box. It really is. And then all you have to do, again, this goes back to my feeling on the Ghostbusters HasLab. If you get the one that had the 4 Ghostbusters, there you are. You have your Ecto Run, your Ecto 1, your 4 Ghostbusters, and you're done. Are the lightsabers sculpted to look like they're no? There are some that are sculpted, and then there's other blades that are just regular ones. So I think there's 3 different blades. There's the regular one, there's one that's in major motion, and then there's one like in just a little motion. There's an effect that you can put in so when the lightsabers clash against each other. I mean, $110. I mean, this is something you put on your shelf. You don't have to put anything else on that shelf. You create the Mustafar around it, and you're set. Is it one? I don't. I mean, once in a lifetime. I don't know. Model Misfit jumping in here. I think what I saying the same thing. This set piece is just phenomenal. It is. I think this is awesome. The Nerd Alert jumping in here saying those blade effects are like Dooku if you copped him. Yes. I mean, I didn't know who it was, but I know they've used them before. They're not new. I know that. But the fact that they're not just giving you one, which is nice, right? For $100, it does not light up. I don't think it's 110. You get a lot in this war chest. You get a lot in this. So, then it's Black Series. So I mean, it's Black Series. So you're not looking at TVC scale. So here's your force push hands, which is cool. There's not. I mean, again, these are things that need to be for your scenes. So, but the truth is, if you really want these figures, let's be honest, they're gonna get reused. There's no doubt about it. But you're not going to get everything else that it comes with. So they showed off like it can do all these scenes that everyone loved in the movies, which the Black Series couldn't do before, which is pretty sad when you think about it. I know exactly what scene this is. It's so fucking bad. When they're just like swinging the lightsabers around for no reason. But yeah, this is one I might just get. The Viper Scout says, "Can you remove Anakin's limbs?" No, that's gonna be the PulseCon exclusive. That's the PulseCon exclusive. And yeah, I think something for like Magneto. This is why, I understand that they can't use the same stuff, but for the love of God, like take some ideas and some cues from each other and say, hey, you know what? We need to do what Classified is doing, or we need to do what Marvel Legends is doing, or Black Series. Like you can take cues from each other. So here's the robot, and you got this flame effect. So Anakin jumps on this, and he's just kind of sitting there, so you can get the high ground. I really thought they were going to give the high ground. Frank Demunia says, now you can make the Anakin burnt toast commercial. Skunkwork says, hit that like button. Thank you very much. 100 people watching still. What do we have here? Yeah, the LED lights. Yeah, 79 likes. So we're getting up there, guys. 100 people like, 106 votes in the poll for 50% want me to go Leatherneck for JoeFest. So here's the base platform of what they're fighting on. Like I said, there's a lot on here for $110. And again, you can use this for other. I mean, you can use this base for other things. But I would have no reason to. Like I said, this would be a nice little Star Wars, Anakin Vader scene. Or Anakin Obi-Wan scene. But here you can see like these flame effects. If you have the effects with the Phoenix, you have the effects with, well, God knows if you collect G.I. Joe, you're probably watching this. You probably have 100 of those different scrap iron effects. Man, you can throw all that stuff in the back and you're gonna make it work. But there's no Grogu with this. No, there's not. No one knew who Grogu was when this was made. So, but there you can see the little black, like the little effect of the lightsabers clashing. Now you are like, if this thing, like if it sat on a base and kind of had like lights that glowed right underneath it, it would be awesome. I mean, I think it's already awesome, but I think that would make it that much more better. But yeah, this is, I just think they nailed it. I think what they did here was absolutely awesome. They knocked it out of the fucking park. So that is the San Diego Comic-Con exclusive. $110. It'll probably still be there, but again, this might be one I just look at because it's like they've given you everything. The only thing you need to do is create red around it, red around that shelf. So, all right. Then we have, I don't know what her name is, but she looks good. The soft, like they are really big into the soft goods, and they should be because all these Jedi are wearing these cloaks, these robes and everything, and they need to be soft goods to move properly. So this looks really good here. I mean, I don't know what more you could really ask for. Barris, Ophi. I may have butchered that, but you can't remember everyone's name in Star Wars. But she looks really good. Like I said, the soft goods, and it's not just like one style. Like you can actually see the texture in this one. So I think it's done so good. Yes, barista coffee. And it looks like you can get a lot of different shots, even though it doesn't look like she has double joints. Which, okay, whatever, Black Series, you do you. But yeah, I think this is one that I think a lot of people are going to have. The hood is not, doesn't look to be soft goods. But I know Four Horsemen have done the same thing where they don't use a hood that's soft goods, everything else is, and you can't even tell. All right, so I did not go and change everything. I probably should have, but it's not a big deal. So these are the Halloween figures. And this is what I'm going to say. These are just repaints. If you don't like them, don't fucking buy them. Like, it's that simple. I will say it again. You know they don't make everything for you. Some people get really angry. Now, I look at this and I'm like, if you like Halloween and you like to put action figures in a Halloween display, or you just want a fucking witch for action shots, for photography, this is pretty damn awesome. And I think she looks really good. The broomstick looks good. Her little sash in the middle, her witch hat. This thing's fucking awesome. All right. She comes with this weird black cat that they talked about. Like every witch has to have a black cat. So here's her broom, her cat. This is awesome. Like, I don't understand how people are mad about this. Yeah, Asajj Ventress as a witch. I think it fits, doesn't it? Like, I don't understand why people are mad about this. This isn't taken away from anything that you're getting. I don't know why people feel that if they do this, it's taking away from something they want. It absolutely makes no fucking sense. So, but look for this around Halloween. They do give her dual lightsabers. But let's be honest, what you're really going to want is her broomstick. So, the Royal Guard as a ghost that glows in the dark. I don't know how you can be mad about this. You like glow in the dark? You're like, yep. So he has like the soft goods overlay, which is very translucent. He comes with his own little green cat or whatever it is, gremlin. I think this is awesome. The Nerd Alert says, I want the Star Wars. I want Star Wars, not Halloween. I'm not. And that's fine. And you don't, again, that's what I'm saying. Like, you don't like it, you don't buy it. It's that simple. But it's not like they've gone and redid molds. That's my biggest. They didn't say, hey, you know what? We're going to take tooling from a whole nother, from another project of another figure we could have done and do this. They're just saying, hey, you know what? Hey, Todd, how do we repaint everything? Oh, this is what you do. Cool. Let's fucking repaint it. So, but if you want a Royal Guard in white that's a ghost that glows in the dark, well, that's what you're going to get. And tell me that doesn't look awesome. I think with not the translucent soft goods, but just the very thin soft goods that are see-through, this looks fucking awesome. Like, I love the way this looks. It looks like a ghost. I could fully see. I'm more interested in getting these, and I'm not even a Halloween guy. I'm more interested in getting these rather than like the Christmas ones that they do. Skunk Work says this is the ghost of those dudes Yoda killed in Pulp's office. Yes. Where was that? So Donald, the Star Wars Harry Potter crossover that no one ever wanted. So, and then I get this guy, Jedi Temple Guard. There is another Halloween guy, but I didn't want to go through and change everything. So here he is. I think this guy looks really cool. I don't know anything about him. He's just a Jedi Temple Guard. To me, he looks more like a bad guy than anything. Now, I really wish these fit with G.I. Joe. I really wish they fit with like the G.I. Joe Classified, because these would be great for Serpentor's group. At least how I like to do it. But they're too small, and they are way too small. But this guy looks pretty good. And once again, they talked about how you can still move the legs, even with the overlay and the skirts that they're using and everything. So, very interesting, very good looking. And it sounds like a lot of people wanted these, and I like the colors. Again, it's not something I'm going to be getting, but this is something that if I'm into the Royal Guards, and I love the guards, the blue Royal Guards, the Imperial Guards, all these guards, they have a very similar look, but very, very different at the same time. So this is a figure, like, if you're just into those guards, you're like, yep, you know what? I need it. Lego Star Wars Kid said, I would collect Star Wars if there was no G.I. Joe Classified. I don't know why you're yelling at me, and I hope I didn't blow anyone's ears out by yelling. But you seem very passionate about that. I don't know. There's so many other things. I'm not gonna lie though. I was looking at a lot of the vintage stuff, and I was like, oh my god, I really like some of this. And it's smaller. You can fit. You can buy more of it. But anyway, this guy looks pretty cool here. That is if you want him. So here is the other Halloween guy. It's the Stormtrooper, and they talked about it, and they said, you know what? We had that mummy figure that we already kind of did, and we're like, and I forget what that was for. It was just recently done, and they're like, it was just a perfect repaint. He was already mummified. Put a Stormtrooper helmet on him, and you have a Stormtrooper mummy. You have your green, you got your white there, you got your soft goods. So no harm, no foul. This is how you do stuff like this. And God forbid they try and do something fun. Like, man, like the uptight assholes in this community. It blows my fucking mind that you're that upset about stuff. But yes, from Ahsoka. I couldn't remember where it's from, but I do remember the figure showing him off. And here he is. I'm sorry, I saw this and all I could think of is the original Star Wars figures, the 5 POAs that could not move. Like, this is just how they moved. Lego Star Wars Kid says, any chance they give us a new sculpted Death Trooper? Give it time is what I would say. Star Wars is great for eventually giving a new sculpt of a figure they've already done. And then watching people get mad about that too. Krusty says, that looks like the staff from Raiders of the Lost Ark. It could be. I don't know which one you're talking about, but since they are both owned by Lucasfilm, they could do that. Like, they can do a crossover like that. And then here's the porg that he comes with. So it's a Halloween porg. All right. The last Ronin. Seriously. It is a samurai Jedi. I mean, it's kind of like an oxymoron in many ways. I thought the black and white ones looked really good. I wasn't too keen on the R2D2 on it. I don't think most people needed this. It sucks that this guy does not scale well with classified. Or else I think people would be buying this. This looks so good. And yes, it is a sheath. Yeah. Yeah, it has a lightsaber sheath. This is just really cool. It's fun. It looks so good. And this is another one that I may just pick up just because. It just went on pre-order, I believe, today. And Krusty's saying, I love this Vision figure. He just looks awesome. Like, it just... I mean, you can't tell that it's Star Wars other than the lightsaber. Like, that is the only way that you know. Look at that. Even Tony's saying this is kind of badass. Now, again, I love Star Wars. You know, I mean, we grew up on Star Wars. You know, in general, the property, I love Star Wars. If you said that there's a samurai Star Wars character, I'd be like, that's kind of stupid. Although it worked for Rogue One. But this, I don't know it's Star Wars. You know, I don't know it's Star Wars other than I see a lightsaber. But yeah, it looks really good. And Matthew was very happy. He got a total red rocket like a dog does when he saw that the sword is on the correct side. And yeah, all Jedi were based off the samurai. That's what I'm saying. It's kind of an oxymoron, right? But they didn't have samurais. But I just think this looks awesome. And I have not heard anyone really complain about this, which is saying a lot for the people in this community. And I think it works better. I thought the black and white one looked really good, worked really well, but no one wanted that R2D2. I mean, it's there, and if you got it, you got it. But I do think I might actually just end up picking this one up. Kind of holding back till after JoeFest to decide what I want to buy. So, but if you need it, it did go on sale today, I believe, or pre-order, shall I say. But you can get it in a bunch of good stances, even with all that bulky gear on. And then he either comes with like a pirate gun. Reminds me, gotta cancel Disney Plus. All done with Andor season 2, which was stellar. I love that. Oh, that reminds me, I gotta cancel Disney Plus. Bearded McBeard isn't jumping in here. Speaking of morons, here I am. Good evening, Pumpkin Chat. I wouldn't say you're a moron. I wouldn't say you're not a moron. So there you go. That's the packaging. Oh. Oh. So I'm not a vintage collector. I'm not even a Star Wars collector, although I picked up I did pick up a biker scout recently. Kids biker scout. It was like $15. And I do want some biker scouts. I saw this and I'm like, this looks really good. I mean, this looks amazing. They talked about the detail that they put into it. They talked about the cockpit and stuff that the original one didn't have. The original Vader TIE fighter in general, the model didn't have this stuff. But then when they went back, they started adding stuff, right? And I was like, if this thing's like $80, I might just get it. Just because it has Darth Vader, it has all this amazing detail to it. I mean, look at this. I mean, it looks fucking sweetest. It has a battle damage wing. So I guess when the Millennium Falcon like shoots at it, again, if it's like $80, I might pick it up, man. Like I could just see just having this sitting in the back. And it went on pre-order day for $140 fucking dollars. $140. It's vintage series, which means it's 4 inches tall. Now I can sit there and say 100 times. I don't know what their licensing fee is. I know it's outrageous. I don't know how much something costs to make. I do know that a G.I. Joe vehicle in 6-inch form with a figure is $100. So how you come up with $140, I don't get. Sean Forrester, looks great, but no way I'm paying $140. Crazy town. Again, I'm almost always one of the first people to say I don't know what the pricing is. Like I don't know how much it costs to tool this, but I can look at what your other stuff that you're selling on a bigger scale is, and I know what that is, and I know there's license. But again, this is smaller, and yet it's detailed. But I've seen a lot of detail in other things that they're selling for cheaper. Darth Vader, I'm sure, is just reuse, right? He's got some soft goods. That's awesome. And he does some carded. I don't know why he has to fucking come carded. That's the most ridiculous thing. That's adding to your pricing too. It's one thing in a HasLab that you're gonna card it. And I guess it also kind of makes sense with the Transformers G.I. Joe crossover, although I don't think you really need to. But yeah. Woody says if they're like trying to make all their money back from the licensing off the vehicle. Yeah, that's exactly what it's like. So Darth Vader comes with like the lightsaber, the hilt, 2 punching hands, and then a pointing hand. Like what the hell? So he has a lightsaber hand. It almost looks like he has 2 punching hands. And here's the inside. I mean, this looks awesome. But there's no electronics. Not that I know of. The Nerd Alert says, TVC figures are beautiful. I have about 30 carded, but who is really paying 20 to 25 for a 3.75? Not me. Again, I don't want to get into the price of $25 for 3.75 because we pay it for, we're paying it for, Delta 17. But those are independent companies that are not mass producing these like they can here. And believe me, I'm not sitting here and saying this thing should be $40. I thought 80 seemed like a pretty nice, fair price for this. When I'm looking at what classified vehicles go for, right? But yeah, I mean the detail in the cockpit, awesome. But $140? I don't see it. Devo jumping in and saying, "What's up, everyone? Only a few more days, buddy. A few more days, and we'll be in Augusta, Georgia." So Darth Vader comes on its own card. Again, I don't think this is necessary, but it adds to your price. And then here's the box. And I will I will say this. I've mentioned it before. Star Wars hits it out of the park when it comes to the fucking boxes. This just takes me away. This just takes it away. Like, right, it takes you right back to as a kid. You're looking at it. It has the Kenner logo on it. The Darth, even though Darth Vader's in it, the way they do it, it makes it seem like, it's like an exclusive or something. I wouldn't say it's $50. There's a $50 toy again, $80. I think is fair. I think $80 is fair. Again, you have to add everything into it. The licensing, it's a vehicle. This is larger than a regular TIE fighter. It's all new sculpted, right? But 140. I'm sorry. I just can't go with that. But that's just me. I'm not going to buy it. I have a feeling this is the one one of those you might see on clearance.
Here comes the money.
Here we go. Money talk.
Here comes the money.
Pop Blender with the $5 super chat saying, "Yo, Punk, here's my fee for trademark infringement Friday night. I'm not monetized, so it's more of a payout. I'd rather ask forgiveness than permission." It's okay. It's all right. Just wasn't what I was expecting to see. I don't want to sit there and be like, they should just give this away. And I think a lot of people think that. Sean Forrester says the X-Wing was about $100 with a figure. This is out of my... Okay. So Sean, again, if you're looking at that, and I think you are, right? You're telling me that the X-Wing was $100 with a figure. Then that's the price point that you set, right? Like, and again, I think you're on board. If the X-Wing is $100, why is this not $100? Because the X-Wing is a very large vehicle also. Other than if you're saying we can reproduce the X-Wing 100 times. Darth Vader's tie is Darth Vader's tie advance, right? Like you can't use it for other things. Obviously, there's probably some things that you could probably reuse, but yeah. I'm with you. And Cobra Commander says, I'll get it when it goes down to 80. Imagine if this went to Ollie's. The Nerdler says, the cost to make it, I'm better. It's super cheap. Hardly no deco, gray plastic, and clear for the... Okay, but a lot of people, again, I have to remember when something gets made, it doesn't just get made and that's it. You have to pay all the workers there. You have to pay for the designers. You have to pay for the corporate people, right? I mean, it is a corporation. You got to pay for the shipping to get it from one country to another country. You got to pay for there's 100 things that go into it. But I think, again, 140, that's, again, I think it's crazy. And I think sales are going to show it because I haven't heard anyone say, you know what? That is so good, I'm still going to buy it. Everyone I've heard say was like, what the fuck are you thinking? So, okay, Snowtrooper pack. Here's a 4-pack. I've heard people bitch about this. There are people that army build. I know that they gave a 3-pack of this, and then they give a single pack. Now they're giving a 4-pack. Once again, if you don't want it, don't buy it. That's simple. They give you, 2 of the long rifles. They all have the small rifle. They all have the backpack. Again, this is just army building. If Hasbro gave a 4-pack of Cobra Troopers, Cobra Vipers, Cobra Bats at a decent price, every time the G.I. Joe team does one, they actually jack the price up, which makes no fucking sense to me whatsoever. But here's the 4-pack. I believe this is a Hasbro Pulse exclusive. Correct me if I'm wrong on that one. We have Palpatine 1975 jumping in here saying, All new tooling is very expensive, plus the license fee and plus the inflation all adds up to costing more. What we bought in 2022 isn't going to cost the same in 2025. Unfortunately, that's how. And again, Palpatine, I'm with you. I understand that, but again, $140 when I'm looking at what the all striker cost for be $100, what the vamp cost to be $100. That's on a 6-inch scale, and I know there's no licensing fee, but they just re-upped that license. Right, it ain't going nowhere for a while. So $100 again. I was thinking like 80. If the X-Wing is $100, that's what you're looking at. I think it should be around $100. You know, but I also understand how corporate greed works. I also think that sometimes when they go for the corporate greed, random, I just read it and I didn't read who said it, and then I realized, yeah. So, but yeah, definitely. Again, I don't think it should be that much, and I think most people agree with me. And I think you're going to see people speaking with their wallets that sometimes corporate greed does not pay. Gun Bunny Customs jumping in here saying, "Good evening, everyone." Hey, Gun Bunny, did you know that you painted a van for Stanley and Stanley doesn't shut the fuck up about it? I don't know if you knew this or not. Good job, though. So here's the Stormtroopers, Snowtroopers. They got the nice soft goods on it. It's an army building pack. This is what we need for G.I. Joe. Woody, how many packs of something like this would you buy in classified scale if it was, $60 for four troopers that were scaled down? You'd fucking go nuts, right? I know a lot of people would. Oh, you do recall painting that for him. Great to have you, Gun Bunny. We need a lot more 118 Joe. Do we? Do we? But hey, Palpatine, I know. And I still see you on Facebook, man. So it's great to have you back. I know. If you guys don't know, Palpatine is in a whole nother continent. So I know your times are way different than ours. So great to have you here. And then Cobra Commander saying they will do these white hooded guys, but not Cobra Commander. See, I know you guys are fucking with me now. I know Radnom was. I'm Cobra Commander. I'm assuming you are too. So there you go. Woo! That was a lot. It was 2 hours into the show. Holy shit. All right. I'm looking down. I still got Mezco, Marvel, and G.I. Joe. And then we get to the JoeFest topic. Luckily, not that much from Mezco, but I gotta say this. Damn, this Batman is really cool. I love the animated series. I love Justice League Unlimited, Justice League. If you ask me, I believe Batman animated series, for me, is probably like for me the best superhero cartoon. X-Men might be like a close second. I think that this might be my favorite. So here we have Batman the animated series with soft good, which I think really works, especially for this design. I didn't even look at the price. Is he $100 or 110? And it's Mezco, so he's got to be right around there. But I know you can get them on BBTS and probably Entertainment Earth that no one wants to pay and wait. But this looks awesome. And they do show off that there's a Joker coming. But if you remember, they also showed off that G.I. Joe Firefly for a long time. So look, Ed pops in. It's a great looking figure. I think 110. Again, I didn't look at the price. I didn't look at the price. I know that if you order through BBTS, you got to put a down payment on it. No refund payment, but man, this looks fucking awesome. I mean, these shots don't even look like it's a figure. It looks like it's like someone did artwork, and then you can see that we are going to get the Joker. I'm almost talking myself into this while looking at this. Like I'm looking at this like, oh my god, I feel like I should buy it. I don't have Batman, and to me, like I could have this Batman, this Joker, and this is completely different than getting a classic Batman, to fight, so I can have him on shelves and do pictures with Captain America and Wolverine and stuff like this. God, I really like this. I really, really do like this. So again, we're going to be getting a Joker. Now, when we're going to get the Joker, who knows? I don't think that they would wait that long. G.I. Joe is way different. They know the Batman's probably going to sell like hotcakes. I don't know how hotcakes sell, though. The Joker looks awesome. And just knowing that you're getting it, like, there he is. Like, Mezco is saying, hey, don't worry. If you buy this Batman, the Joker is coming. I think I'm going to buy it. I think I'm going to BBTS. I think I'm going to fucking order this stupid thing. Not right now. Maybe I should wait till after JoeFest before I decide what I'm going to buy. Right, guys? It seems to be more logical considering I've committed to JoeFest and going to assembly required. So, but yeah, Mezco can do an awesome job. And I think that, again, looking at this here, I feel like looking at it here, I feel like they're going to use that softer, stretchy material rather than what they use with Firefly, who really makes it very difficult to move around. So, but yeah, everything here. Krusty says, I wish it were a 2-pack. It just should, but then you're looking at $220. And it's much easier to justify a $110 figure at one time and then get another $110 figure. Again, if you're talking $50, a $100 2-pack, but $220, then you're just, you're kind of sitting there. Graf says, let's take a trip to BBTS right now. Punk, whoa, Batman's for all. I don't think so. And again, I think a 2-pack would be awesome, but I think the price would be killer. Matthew says, I think there are better BTAS figures out there, and you don't have to deal with Mezco. Well, again, if you go through BBTS, then you don't have to deal with Mezco. I've kind of accepted that they are not going to replace the broken backpack and gun of my my G.I. Joe Duke. I've just kind of accepted that, considering the guy gave me a total fucking attitude when I said, hey, is there any word on this? And he just kind of, you can just send the figure back and we'll give you the money. And all I'm thinking is like, yeah, like I'm going to trust you right now. You can't even send me out a fucking new gun that has a broken stock. So anyway, we're going to get, do we get 4 heads or 3 heads? So we get like this. Okay. So this scared head of Batman tells me that you have to be getting a Robin, right? Like, doesn't that go when Robin like is about to kill Zuko? I think it's Zuko. But yeah, you get these different head sculpts, which I think just nail everything. Harvey, no, maybe that's it. Yeah, maybe that's it, the Harvey one. So yeah, Two-Face has got to be coming, right? So all these different hands, you get the stand. And then you're going to get all these other accessories with it. Again, I really like this. But there's so many characters that they can do. So many characters. But I'm pretty fucking, I like that. I think that looks really, really good. And I think it just nails it, right? Krusty O'Crow says, I normally wouldn't go for a 2-pack that pricey punk, but it's Batman and Joker. That's too good to pass on. But you know you're going to get it. And because you know you're going to get it, it's kind of one of those things where you're saying you're not going to get a discount on it. So I'm okay with just kind of waiting, especially when most people pay up front for their Mezcos. Unless you go through BBTS. And Alex Martin says, Batman animated series, I'm all in. It does looks good, man. Whew. All right. Quick Marvel Legends. I know. This bothers a lot of people. So this is an SDCC exclusive. Everybody wanted this figure. Is it Shanna? Is that what her name is? She comes with this nice little rifle. She's almost as naked as my Boss Fight Studios Red Sonja is. I think this figure looks really good. I think everyone was expecting it. They showed it off. But then you find out it comes with a 3-pack with using the same buck of Rogue. Savage Land Rogue. So looking at these two here, it looks like the same boots. The same loincloth. Same legs. Same upper body. Now this is fucking reusing to the extent of look at that. I mean, it's the exact same. She has her staff, different head sculpt, obviously. Different. She has gloves, and then she has her Ultimate Warrior bicep bands. I think it looks good. The Rogue's face is a little rough. All right, that I would admit that a little rough there. But man, they really nailed. I mean, I think they really nailed this for what it's going to be. Krusty O'Crow says, "I will hunt this down like a wild boar." I don't think it's going to be that hard to get, to be 100%. To be 100% honest, and these figures are going to come again. All right. Well, maybe the Bucks will come again because they're already reusing them, I believe. So here they are. Here's where there's like, hey, yeah. Oh, I guess the upper torso is different. All right. I guess that is a different upper torso with the overlay, but everything else is the same. So there she is. And then we get the Sauron. Did I say it right? Sauron. Now, I believe this is just a repaint. I liked winged characters. Like the gargoyles. I liked it. And I don't have this figure. I could definitely see myself picking this up, depending on what the price is going to be. But yeah. And I know people are real mad about this. He has his hypnotic eyes. So that's good. The wings, again, the Marvel Legends has done really good with most of their wings. Andrew Taylor says Sauron is one of the all-time best Build-A-Figures. And everyone's saying, so $90 for this guy, all right, who's a big figure, all right, his effects, and the two ladies. Well, you figure the two girls, they're $50, so you're looking at it's San Diego Comic-Con exclusive, so I guess maybe a little pricey, but I think it really works in all honesty. So if it's something that you want, go pick it up. I do think the Shanna people will get. I think they'll sell that again. There's not a lot of effects with most Marvel Legends. You can see all the hands that they come with. They both come with knives. They both come with spears. There's one rifle in it, and then you have the hypnotic effects. But you can see how much bigger he is, and it gives people a chance to get this figure. If they didn't get it. But yeah, I don't think it's going to stick around. I do think that people are going to want it, but who knows how many they're going to make. So Airborne Custom says the original Sauron Build-A-Figure sells for over 80 right now. So if that's how you're looking at it, it definitely makes this worth it. Because if you only want I don't think anyone just wants the Sauron, to be honest. Everyone wants that Shanna. But if you want the Shanna right there, you're going to get this, and then you're also going to get, Rogue. So, woo! All right. So you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to play a little commercial because I've been drinking a lot, and I need to run to the restroom real quick. So here you go. Wait a minute. I went to the wrong thing. I got to find the right one.
Oh, hey guys, what's going on? Mossman, what are you doing back here? Oh, you see, so Skeletor, he had to go to the grocery store. He had to go buy more barbecue Pringle chips. And so he's put me in charge here for a little bit. In charge of y'all. He said, man, Mossman, I have to go to the grocery store, so I need to put you in charge of Snake Mountain. Mwahahahaha. Yes, that's Skeletor. That's Skeletor. Right. Skeletor said since I was in charge, I could use the credit card and maybe go online and buy some action figures for myself.
Oh, some action figures sound kind of nice. Yes. Maybe we can go to Big Ben.
Yeah, Beastman, we don't say that around here. We go to HellDopeToys.com. They have the best prices in town, and they ship everything in one business day. One business day, Beastman. That means I buy it, and it comes to my house super fast, and they pack it all real nice. So when I go to do my YouTube reviews for my 5 subscribers, I'll be like, oh, look at this minty fresh packaged box that I got from HellDopeToys.com. So what are we waiting for, y'all? Let's go get that credit card and head on over to HellDopeToys.com right now before they run out of all the good stuff.
Who doesn't love Mossman, right? Oh, Tony. So Toy Bonnet Hunter says, I've got Sauron already, and I'm 99% sure Shannon will be re-released. So probably going to pass on that. And I agree with you. If you already have that, I don't see why they would not release the Shanna. It wouldn't make much sense now, would it? So, 1 second. I got to do something else. So quickly, you got to hear from here. Hold on. Here, I like this.
Let me tell you something, me Gene. So I'm sitting at home Monday night, and I get this DM from some guy named Tony, Legends series, and he says, "What you doing, Hawkster?" I said, I'm watching Monday Night Raw. What are you doing? He's like, you got to turn on this thing called Monday Night Toy Ramblings on YouTube with this punk with toys. He's talking about you. So I want to turn on over and hear what this fool is talking about. And I turn it on, and all I hear him say is that he was at WrestleMania 3 with 93,173 of his best friends, and he was there when he watched me pick up that big, mean, ugly giant, and when I slammed him to the ground, he said he felt the Silver Dome shake all of Pontiac, Michigan. It shook, and that's when I realized that this guy, him and all his punkamaniacs that are running wild every Monday night, that it is the best thing going in Michigan that's ever happened, maybe the best thing ever on Monday night. So, if you're sitting here right now and you're not paying attention, a punk with toys, Monday Night Toy Ramblings, this guy will talk about everything. And it doesn't matter what you do. You can buy your subs. You can hit him with fake copyright strikes. He's coming after you if you get on his bad side. So what you're gonna do when Hulkamania, when Punkamania, when they all run wild on you?
All right. A little bit of G.I. Joe news. I know a lot of people probably haven't seen that. It seems kind of weird showing a commercial for my own show on my show while you're watching. You're like, asshole, I already watch you. But I wanted something a little different. All right. We'll get to some G.I. Joe. It went up on Wednesday. Boy, was this a fucking clusterfuck. Thank you, Hasbro. Thank you, protesters. Thank you, fucking everyone that's fucking out there that is just a complete fucking dipshit in this world. And I don't give a shit what side of politics you fucking fall on. There are a shitload of fuck ups in this fucking world. So anyway, Hasbro had a live, well, we all know it wasn't a live stream, or else they could have done it. It's a pre-recorded stream, and my guess is they were going to show off the police officer. And because of the stuff that's going on in LA, they decided to pull it back. Most people think that it's absolutely stupid. But then there was somebody that showed off this police officer that had ice on it, and people lost their shit because someone tried making a joke about things. Okay. The fact of the matter is, I have a lot of stuff to say about this, and I'm going to go over this. Now, this is going to come. They have already tooled this. This is just law. Tony's Figs, he put them side by side, and it is just law. So this is my fucking problem with Hasbro pulling this down. By pulling this down, you're fucking telling all the dipshits out there that hate fucking cops that, you know what, you're right, all cops are bad. Now, let's be honest, we've seen some stuff in the protests that the cops have done that probably aren't fucking right. But I'm also seeing a lot of dipshit fucking asshole protesters that aren't there to fucking protest. They're there to cause fucking problems. By removing this, you're just saying, you know what, we're going to bow down to what you have to say. We're going to bow down and we're going to cower because police bad. Well, just stop, because there are fucking bad people everywhere. Should cops lose their fucking temper? No. But do they? Yes, because they're fucking people. There are bad firefighters. You don't fucking pull firefighters off. There are fucking bad black people. Do you fucking pull every black fucking figure? Right? There are bad fucking white people. Do you fucking remove white fucking figures from fucking preorders? No, you don't. All right? So the fact of the matter is, this will come. And this has nothing to do with politics. This was something I had to go back and forth in our chat for Circle of Jerks, because I don't want to talk about politics on this. But I do think that this is a bad precedence to set up, because you're saying, wow, there are some people that are causing problems, and then you have some cops that unfortunately they've done wrong too. But for the most part, you shouldn't do stuff like this. Go about your business. Don't try and paint it out and be like, well, you know what? So many people right now think cops are bad. We need to fucking jump on that. Bullshit. I know a lot of police officers. We all know a lot of police officers. A lot of them are our family members. A lot of them are fucking friends. Some of them are fucking YouTubers. And guess what? 99% of them are probably good people. And just like everyone in this fucking world, there are fucking bad people out there. We don't fucking, you don't fucking judge what a couple fucking people do along with all of them. Or else, guess what? I'd be looking at all the fucking protesters, and I use that in fucking quotes because let's be honest, most of those fucking people that you're seeing that are ordering fucking cars to fucking destroy, those aren't the ones that are really fucking, those aren't the ones that are actually trying to make things or protesting. Those are people that just want to fucking destroy things because they know they can get away with it right now. All right? It's not about fucking politics because they don't really care where you fucking stand. Tesla Super Destination saying you're on point. Thank you very much. And again, I'm not getting into politics because that's why I won't discuss this with other people, because people will turn it political. It's almost impossible for it not to be. But Odin said, is there any indication, confirmation from Hasbro what the reason? No, but again, I don't need to be fucking Batman to figure out the reason why they pulled this. For right now, it's not, again, they're making it. All right. They're making this fucking figure. It's probably already on a fucking boat on its way over here. All right. It's in production. They're not scrapping it. But they're going to push it back. Now, again, I see the other side. Why did they do it? Well, you see people that put that ice on it, and I saw people lose their shit on it. Well, guess what? They put their fucking this ice on it. People lost their shit. People are just trying to be fucking funny about it. Is it funny? I don't know. It depends on what circle you're in. Some people find it funny. Other people don't. That's why you don't talk about fucking politics on a fucking toy stream. John Battle saying, Lawrence, how far are you from Battle Creek? I have family living up there. About 2.5 hours. 2.5 hours. Matt O'Brien saying, preach punk, 90% of the cops do the right thing and serve to protect our community. It's probably more than 95%, to be 100% honest, but all while getting yelled at. I don't care what side of the aisle you're on, but good to hear you say that about. Yeah, no, and again, I refuse to get political. But I do think that them pulling this was, it sets a bad example. You're saying, well, you know what? You think, and you're trying to make a whole group of people seem bad, when in actuality, they're not. And I know there's some people that will completely disagree with me, and I'll say, you know what? That's fine. You can have your opinion, but not here. And Hank Day says, I wanted that cop fam for so many years. And again, we're going to get it. We are going to get it. There is no doubt in my mind. But yeah. And Poplander says, these companies are terrified of the people that they have bent the knee to, so they have to save face and don't look like they're hypocrites. And you're right on that. You're absolutely right. I can see why Hasbro did it. I actually fully understand why Hasbro did it. I don't agree with Hasbro doing it, but I understand why they did it. I do think that it was an overreaction, to be 100% honest. I think it was an overreaction, but at the same time, I see why they did it. I've heard people yelling and screaming about how much they fucking hate cops. To all the people that hate fucking cops, please don't dial 911 when you need them. That's all I have to say. Gun Bunny says, it's terrible that there's so much politics and getting injected into toy shows. It's tainted. I agree. And that's why I did not want to discuss it on the Circle of Jerks, because I knew that it would turn into something political. And I don't want this to be political. I just think that this sets a bad example, because you are saying, hey, tell me that you hate someone enough and I will pull this away. It goes back to the Hooded Cobra Commander. No one in their fucking right mind has said, you know what? That's fucking racist. Because it's just not true. Cops are the most awesome. Why are you saying that? Why are you saying that? The red. I don't understand what that means. I don't understand what that means. I know I read wrong. I know I read bad, but I don't fully understand it. But that's just my opinion. Either way, these things will come out. These things were going to blow people away. Oh, I'm sorry. They're going to blow Hasbro away, because everybody wants this. They want it for their Marvel Legends. They're going to want it for their fucking Valaverse. They're going to want it for Operation Monster Force. Obviously they're going to want it for G.I. Joe. And this fits into what G.I. Joe did before. The whole adventure team, right? They didn't always do just military. So this here is absolutely awesome. You have the riot gear. You have two different colors of figures. So you have the black cop, you have the white cop. You can use other heads. So you can have all kinds of other military, figures that are on there. Unfortunately, Classified uses a different neck peg system. we we do get to see the them why or how they were going to reuse the stun gun. I can't think of it. The taser. The flare gun is one. It's kind of like, I don't think cops really use flare guns, right? Like, it's something you see on a boat. But I think these look awesome, and they can be used in every single display. Now, I don't think that it's going to. I think you're going to have to cut off the vest so you can have a plainclothes cop or a plainclothes police officer. That sucks. This should be by this stage in the line, they should be able to pop this off, right, without having to cut it, and it sucks. Tony says flare gun is a silly yes. Now, you know what? You know who should have a flare gun? Cutter, when Cutter comes out, right? It's perfect on a boat. I don't think that any cops are shooting a flare gun in the air, but they had to reuse it. But yeah, so these are going to come. When they're going to come, I don't know. From what I was told, this is what I was told, is that these were supposed to be released. When they decided to pull them, they gave everyone the 2 retro cards. Those retro cards were not supposed to come to San Diego Comic-Con. So in my opinion, what's going to happen is these are just going to get swapped. San Diego Comic-Con, these will probably go up for pre-order. They'll probably hope that hopefully everything has died down. Everything that's going on, it will kind of simmer down a little bit, and they'll be able to, to move on. But looking at this figure itself, we get the handcuffs that came with Chuckles. Obviously, they're going to come with Law and Order. The new police helmet, which, let's be honest, does this police helmet not remind you of the one that you always had? You'd always see in Kmart and you'd put on and you always wanted to get, and your parents like, don't ride your bike with that thing. It's not going to protect your head. So, but yeah. And then he has the shooting glasses that come with the Larry neck that I know everyone seems to like. They did talk about this, the microphone. It is on a pliable like wire type, so you'll be able to move it. They'll actually be able to talk into it. Again, I am super excited for these because I don't think you're ever going to see these sitting on shelves very long, because every collector that collects 6-inch figures, other than, let's say, Class or Black Series, can use police officers. There's not going to be a shortage of them, right? So now the shotgun, the automatic shotgun with the with the big ammo drum. These figures should have come with the M16. All right, like that's like they should have had the M16. It would have fit them perfectly. Not so much this, but let's be honest, I have 1,000 different weapons that I can use, and I love this weapon. I love the shotgun, but it should not have come with the cop. All right. Palpatine says, I'm in law enforcement, so I welcome this. Definitely going to pick this up. Palpatine, and I know you are. And again, like I said, we have many friends in here that are in law enforcement, and most of them, none of them that I know of, are bad people. So I think that it was a miss, but it's going to come. I just think, again, I just don't like it being pulled the way that it was, or being altered. So either way, this thing does look good. I hope that the shield is on the proper side. I can see someone holding it with their left hand again, which means that it should not be the same one that came with Shockwave, because that thing, for the love of God, why did they casual toy collector jumping in here saying it's going down. So yeah, but we are going to get this figure, and then we get the same poncho. The same poncho that came with the anniversary, the 60th anniversary soldier. I think it might actually fit better on a cop. Someone said it kind of looks weird. That's because the police there If you don't have that, that's an actual pocket. You really, I mean, you can put stuff in it, but I don't know why you would. And Airborne Custom says the shield is completely different design than Shockwave's. Thank God. Thank God they put it on the right arm. Thank God they put it on the right arm, because good Lord, or at least make it, switch, right? So, and then Big M jumping in here too. Ed says, can't wait for the police figure. Total adventure team vibes. Yeah, that's one of the biggest things. Like, we've talked about it. Like, people that say G.I. Joe shouldn't be like this, G.I. Joe was like this. People just don't want to admit it or think about it because they think a real American hero is what G.I. Joe is. It's what made G.I. Joe what it has become today, but it was so many other things, right? It was so many other things. So, yeah. Now, here's the whole thing. The casual toy collector says these are tough. Sucks if we gotta wait. I have a feeling we're still gonna get them at the same time. The pre-order is just gonna go up at a different time. I still think they're gonna be slated to hit at the same time. They're just changing when we can actually pre-order them. And for me, who cares? Like, if I pre-order them and they come 2 weeks later, or if I pre-order them and they come, and I'm able to pre-order them, 4 months early, who the fuck cares? I still don't have them in hand. Will R says, gonna buy 4 and use 2 of them as green shirt heads on. Yeah, dude. Right there. Or you put the helmet on one of them, right? And you don't even notice. Edward Stamaneski says, I'm retired. Keep safe, Palpatine. Yeah. Yes, please. Any of the officers out there, be safe out there. So, anyway, here's the back of it. The whole reason why I did the whole reason why I did the thumbnail the way that I did was just because it was easy. I was able to put my head where the officer was. I was able to put the Punk with Toys right there, and it just fit perfect. And I knew people would notice it and be like, "All right." Will R is saying EMT's next, baby. Who do you guys think will be the next? I mean, I love what they're doing. I wouldn't be surprised if they have a female nurse coming. Let's be honest. I wouldn't do a female police officer right now, considering if you just push this back. All right, well, you can wait, and you'll wait longer than to get this. But don't worry, he's gonna do one, I'm sure. I have a feeling. I think a female nurse will probably come next. Just my personal opinion, or a female paramedic. Todd says female EMT. Yeah, I think it's in line to have a female for sure. Action Fig says rescue helicopter pilot next. But then you're going to want a helicopter to go with it. Well, I guess we're not getting a police car, so I guess. Tony says paramedics and I know you want to, but that's not what I'm saying. But here's everything that you get with them. You get the coffee mug. They should have given him a donut. Let's be honest, all right? You even ask police, and they make jokes about, hey, dude, I love my donuts, right? Like, let's be honest. Okay, the Will R now. Give us a meter maid in one of those little 3-wheeled carts they drive. That would be awesome. Oh, it's also got to come with like 2 or 3 different meters, so you can line them up and have them like only ticketing. They're only ticketing like the hisses and the stingers, and then you can have like they're out there arguing that they're ignoring the vamps and they're not ticketing the vamps, but only the only ticketing the Cobra vehicles. That would be awesome. So anyway, there's everything that you're gonna get. Like I said, I think it should come with the M16. This big shotgun doesn't seem to make a lot of sense. But again, they're toys, and we can change whatever we want. Matt O'Brien, Punk confirmed a classified EMT helicopter with nurse. I think everyone wants. Wants the meter made now. So Lightfoot jumping in here saying, "I see him with the flare gun, and all I can think of is acid burns subway defense system." I don't know anything about that. All right. Again, so here's everything, and I do like what they did with the shield. It has been beat up. That's probably the biggest trigger warning going on right now, because that's what a lot of them probably look like. All right, on to the retro bat here. Now, I think the classified bat that came out, the first one of the best figures that they've ever made. I got some pictures coming out tomorrow, I think, on Instagram using one. They stand amazingly. I love it. But I look at this one, and I like the fact that they finally said, you know what? Here's some blast effects that are going to work with it. They gave you the clear, the clear chest piece. You still get the battle damage head. You get the battle damage. Now, someone said this would have been the perfect time to do the, how do you say it? The same way they did the original bat. And I think, I think that chest piece, that would have been awesome if they would have done something like this. But let's be honest, they have repainted this thing so many times. They were just going to repaint it. I don't have a problem having more bats. I know there are people that are mad about more bats. I don't know how you can be mad about more bats. So yeah. Quickly, John Battle said, didn't they already release a cop and dogs? Didn't they already release a cop and dog set called Junkyard and Mutt? And I have 7 of my collection, and they have another one coming called Law and Order in the near future. Well, I don't believe Mutt and Junkyard were ever. I don't believe was he. I don't think he was military police. I could be completely wrong. Need a policeman on a horse. Well, you know what? Just get a Mythic Legion's horse. And thank you for that, U.S. Combat Dojo, because you know what? Yes. I didn't even think about that. But guess what? I will have a policeman on a horse when they come out. Lenticular. Thank you very much. So they really should have done the lenticular here. This is what they, where they kind of missed the opportunity. Where they completely missed the opportunity with that. But again, this is actually really cool. And again, anyone can get the bats. They're not hard to get still. But I do like these new colors. I like the red, the red face, and it just gives me more bats, and it gives a new look on the, on the shelf. So if you don't want it, then you don't have to buy it. It's really that simple. So here's everything that it comes with, everything the original bat came with. But it also gives you a stand, which these things do not need stands. It gives you a clear chest piece. Now, mind you, something was changed. The clear chest piece that comes with, I believe, the Iron Grenadier bats do not stay on the original bat. They just don't. But then they give you the flame effect, and then you get the one blast effect, which I think actually works with this because I guess that's kind of a laser gun. It's not a real it's not a blast effect for a bullet. And then we get the green shirts. Now they did darken these up, so that makes me wonder, because the person that sent me the retro Flint, he also had this, and they definitely darkened up the shirt, because the one that he has, the early prototype, the shirt is way lighter. Oh, and I'm back. Yeah, I just got dumped for no reason. So now I have to reload our slides. Nope, I don't want to do that. It just literally just dumped me for no reason. And I wasn't even having a bad signal or anything. So let me find my slides again. All right. I have no idea why I did that. I wasn't having any issues at all. But hey, but we jumped up in viewers when I went away. Look how awesome that is. All right. So the green shirts, just going right back to where I was. Johnny, he got canceled for showing the police figure. Viper Island strikes again. All right. So I know there's some people that aren't happy about this. And if you don't want them, then you don't buy them. I mean, it's that simple. All he is Grunt's buck, correct? So I think there's going to be people that buy shitloads of these, and then I think there's going to be people that don't use it. Yes, I'm using Paulie's dial-up. His mom came in and was like, "I need to use the phone." But here's everything that he comes with. And now this is where I'll say it again. Yes, they should have came with the laser rifle. Again, M16. It is the generic gun that the military tends to use. He's not using Grunt. Okay. So he's not using Grunt's buck. I thought I was just looking at the shoulders. I thought that it was Grunt's, but okay. Maybe I was thinking, I don't know. Whatever. I'm sure it's reused to somebody. Like I said, I gave up trying to figure out whose buck is who. All right. There's just too many, and it doesn't really matter because that's what all these companies do. But if it's not Grunt, I definitely don't want to be saying that it's Grunt if it's not true, because God knows people will come at me on that. So, and here's the card art for it. I've counted all the fingers. There's the right amount of fingers. Tony says that Stalker buck from waist down, Dusty's buck from the neck to the waist. Okay. So, the collector says I pre-ordered 4 of these. Well, I've ordered from so many. I've only ordered 1 from each place, but like I'll kind of wait, and if I like it when I get one, I'll be like, I'll just keep this one so I can have. I'll definitely get 2 of them. There's no doubt about it because it's technically 2 different figures. What I do like about this, again, you have 4 figures. If you use the helmet on one of them, if you use the helmet on each head sculpt, because once you pull it down, you can't really tell what figure it is. He looks completely different. So, all right, we'll get to Sergeant Slaughter, the traitor, and the other guy that caused some controversy, and that is Mercer. Now, Plastic Battles, a former guest on Thursday with a Friend, took like 4 different pictures, put a line straight across on the cartoon and in the comic book to show you that Mercer is not huge. Now, in the Energon universe, they made him huge, but he's not. So this Sergeant Slaughter is built solely on this buck. All right. It is the same chest. It is the diaphragm cut. It is pinless. This buck, I know a lot of people don't have him yet. He is just as tall as Roadblock and Gung Ho, which is, if anyone has, if you have the figures, and you probably do, you know how big they really fucking are. So here is an awesome shot of them beating up Sergeant Slaughter beating up a bunch of Vipers. The thing that I found funny about this is they didn't even bother trying to put the goggles on. They're like, the goggles just fall off. not even going to leave him on him. So here we see Mercer. Again, he is shorter. The one thing that I did notice, and I pointed it out, and the latest reviews, is that the figures are starting to get taller again. Where Blowtorch is a fairly big figure, and our buddy Footloose is also a little bit taller than you would think that he was. So now Mercer is going to use the same legs as the Retro Viper. It looks like they gave Slaughter a different head, or a secondary head sculpt, which I think actually looks really good. And they threw in a whole bunch of different weapons. Now, I meant to actually go and find the one weapon, and we're going to talk about the weapons in a second here. Now, I got to say this. I took a very similar picture of Stalker grabbing Cobra Commander's head like this, like his mask, and people ask me, why is Stalker caressing Cobra Commander? But no one said that about Sergeant Slaughter here. Yes, this is the first pinless Sarge, which tells me they're probably going to do a pinless Gung Ho eventually, and probably do another pinless Roadblock, which I'm sure will infuriate people. So, but Mercer has a different upper body. You can take this vest off, but you're going to have to cut it off or pop off the arms and legs, and hopefully that it comes off. So if you want to make a specific Viper, let's say you want to make a different officer Viper, you'd have to get rid of the No Cobra logo, but you can do it. Johnny Reno says, why is Sergeant Slaughter caressing a Viper's face, Lawrence? I don't know. That is a very good question, Johnny. Thank you very much. But again, I like the new head sculpt, or the new head sculpt of Slaughter. It gives us something different, and I think it just fits with the whistle. I can't see myself not having the whistle. The problem is I don't know if that head sculpt is going to fit on the other Sergeant Slaughters, because they've changed the neck peg so many times, and I think the original one probably used a different size. So we'll get to everything that they come with. I'm sure you guys have all seen this. So here's everything that they do come with. Now, most of these, there's a lot of new weaponry in here. The M4 with the 203 on it, that is the same rifle that comes with Leatherneck. Then we have the Chris Vector, which I think the only Vector that we've seen them use is a modified version that comes with the HISS drivers. I really like this. I know there's a lot of other manufacturers that are other companies that are doing the Vector. I like the shorter version of this one. He's got a pistol with a silencer or a suppressor. He's got the 6-shooter. I don't really like that. It's kind of like what Valiverse did, and I don't really care for that. He has the grenade launcher, which is super fucking cool. Now, the bullpup that comes with Mercer, or that Mercer has, it looks like it has a drum barrel, so I'm not really sure, but it's all new. And then the red weapon here, and I meant to look for it. I'll try and find it. Maybe I'll talk about it tomorrow on Circle of Jerks if I remember. Mark to Toys, he has weapon sets, and he has something that's very similar, and he said that all his weapons are based off real world weapons. So I think that might be a real world weapon, but it's one that isn't all that well known. So but the Sarge, along with his other head sculpt, he does come with the beret, and you look at this outfit, and this is very, very reminiscent of when he was an Iraqi sympathizer, when he was a turncoat, and he turned his back on Hulk Hogan and the USA. And I think, again, them wanting me to believe that Colonel Mustafa was not, the Iron Sheik. Also, why the hell did a General Adnan and Colonel Mustafa take orders from a sergeant? all in all, I don't think we needed another Sergeant Slaughter, but we know we're going to get them over and over and over because they paid that licensing fee. And someone said that they heard like one per year. And I guess that maybe adds up after they sign the contract if you also add in the Triple T Transformers. So either way, people are going to get it. People want that Mercer. He is shorter, but he actually fits with what was in the comic book and also in the cartoon. And I saved the best for last. So I know this was a the small wheels on the front bothered a lot of people, and I said that's a digital render. Let's wait till it actually comes out. The front wheels do not look as small as the back in most of these pictures, though on the box it still kind of looks small. So, but all in all, I probably liked the All Striker more than I liked the Vamp as a kid. Although I liked them both. I wasn't so sure about this All Striker. And then when we saw it or seen all these pictures, I went, fuck, that looks good. Sarge says, or Action Fix says, well, you know, Sarge did a lot of heroic deeds during his service time. Yes, he did. Yes, he did. Let's just ask Travis, not fucking Moody, and he can tell us how many. Matt O'Brien says, I'd still be down for a USA Sarge and the one that came with the Warthog. And how about a Night Force Sarge? Don't give him any more ideas right now. I think we're going to get a Triple T eventually. So anyway, just looking at this thing, the more I look at this, the more I like it. You have the M60 right in the front here. I mean, let's be honest, that thing pops off. It's fucking Rambo's gun right there. You got the 50 cal on the top, and then you have 2 rocket launchers right on the top that can also be pulled off. You get the winch in the front, which is a total characteristic of what they've been doing with these types of vehicles, going back to obviously the Stinger and the Vamp. A cool shot of him going down this. Again, guys, why don't you sell us all of this? Sell us all of this. Mark Hartness says other celebrities have gone Cobra. The red female Cobra Trooper in the reaction series is Lily Aldrin from How I Met Your Mother. I mean, I know I've been watching Buffy the Vampire Slayer, so I know exactly who you're talking about. So I will say this. I hope they make it so the ammo box fits a little bit better on this than it did on the Vamp, because I really don't want to go through that argument with people again. But they did some awesome shots here, and clearly they did this all at the same time as we have Mercer and Sergeant Slaughter. He wanted to make it look more like the military vehicles are now, those desert ones that they use. So that's why they put the roll cage on the top with an actual gunner seat, which I think is awesome. It's awesome that it can be removed to make it look like an actual All Striker. And let's be honest, there are going to be people that are going to recreate that same cannon that came with the original All Striker 3D printing. So you'll be able to get that if you want it. GI Jetman jumping in here saying hello, everybody. Now this is only $100, and I think again, the Vamp is well worth $100. So is the Stinger, and I have a feeling this is going to be no different. But you can look at the front here, and I love the fact that they have the crossbars here, so it's less possible to break out the fucking lights. And they just kind of redid this picture numerous times. So they're kind of showing you the independent suspension on it, which the original one did have. Here it's kind of going down. Here he's running over a Viper. We get a look at the engine, all right, which is in the rear. It's going to be different than the original one, and I'm fine with that. They talked about having a toolkit with it, which is awesome. Hopefully, it does come with some tools that we can throw in there. But even on the back, you have the rear light, the rear lights with the cages over it. There he is drinking his coffee, and I hope while you're in the desert that you have a lid on that thing, because that's gonna suck if you don't. The toolkit goes on the side. Same with the jerry cans, which I'm guessing those jerry cans. I don't know. Wasn't really paying attention to them, looking at them. Are they the same that come with the vamp? Someone I'm sure can look in and tell me really quickly. Backwoods has jumped in here, says it has a split front window. Well, technically it does have a window just to support that roll cage. Are the front wheels still small? They're smaller. It's hard to say because the pictures that you're seeing, they're smaller, but they don't look that much smaller. But the back of the box, and we'll see it in a second, look like they're still pretty small. I think when people get it in hand, it's not going to look nearly as small as people think. So there's a couple shots of the dashboard. This dash is fucking awesome. I got yelled at for saying that there wasn't that much detail in the Vanguard, because there isn't. This takes it to a whole nother level. I thought that the detail in the Vamp and the Stinger both looked good. I'm not even going to compare it to what's in the Hiss and the Dragonfly, considering those are light up and they're HasLabs. But this is just amazing. Now, it has a stick shift. It does have a steering wheel that's going to move. It does have wheels that turn, but they are not connected, nor should they be. All right, because it's stupid. There's no reason to, right? Now it does have a microphone here, or not a microphone. Yeah, a mic here, so you can talk into it. It's the same type of cord they said that will be on the police officer and on law. I'm gonna get to another dash here. So here's the dash. You can see that the whole roll cage comes off, but hopefully that this cup fits in there nicely, because I know on the Vanguard it kind of bounces around. This looks like it's more snug, and it's just very easy to lose it if it isn't. But the GPS on this is awesome. All the stickers in there showing your speed, your gauges and everything it's amazing. And that detail throughout it is fucking awesome. Okay. I don't know why I said okay like that. Yes, microphone for when he's singing along to Taylor Swift. I know, I can't think of what it is. So here's everything that he does come with, everything that it does come with. So you're going to get that M60, which I'm assuming will come off. You get the big 50 cal on top. You can take off the whole roll cage. So it can be completely convertible. Or you can just remove the back and make it like the original All Striker. And like I said, CB radio. Thank you very much, Jetman. Thank you. And someone's going to 3D print it and make the exact same that you had before. We have a helmet that's more like what you get in dune buggies or on four-wheelers. You get a regular helmet. You get the visor. So if you want to be the old ball coach, Steve Spurrier, you got goggles. You have two different... you have the neckerchief that's down. You got the neckerchief that goes over. Looks like you got binoculars, pistol, knife. $100, and this is why I say Vader's TIE Fighter should not be $140. So here you can see the wheels. All right, in this picture, the front wheels look much smaller. In this angle, you can still see it. They don't look as small. On the back of the box, they definitely look smaller, but that's how they're supposed to be. You go and look at some military vehicles, these dune buggies, this is how they are. So, no Steel Brigade, I'm out. So, Palpatine says, I just realized on the sides of the Awe Striker are a crocodile head deco. Yeah. Yeah, I didn't realize a crocodile. I knew that there was something there. I didn't realize there's a crocodile. That's very interesting. So, on the box, we see like a completely convertible one back here. And then we also see the bridge layer. Now, the bridge layer is one of these things where we saw it on the back of Blowtorch. Yeah. It's on the back of Blowtorch right here. I'm going to remove this because we're done with these slides. So there's the bridge layer. I just said, hey, you know what? It's just a digital render. That's all, they're just trying to throw things in there. On the back of Footloose here, we get what looks like a Mauler. And when I originally said that, because when we saw the digital renders, I was like, you know what? They're just throwing stuff in the back. But since then, we've got the Rattler that we saw. We have a polar bear. That SWAT thing, the SWAT bus, they gave us police officers. It's one of those things where they're showing stuff that they're willing to do and that we might just get. It is not a ramen one, I will tell you that much for sure, because Hasbro has put cease and desist against them. But yeah, it's one of those things where, they're throwing stuff up there, and when we might not have thought we would have, who thought we were getting a fucking polar bear? No one. Some people joked about it, but no one really thought we were getting one. But sure enough, we did. And we got the Rattler. No one really thought we were going to get a Rattler, but we did. I don't know if people really want a bridge layer. I mean, it sounds fun, and it was fun as a kid, but if you've seen the ramen one, you realize how big it really is. And there's only so many people that are going to do pictures with that, so, but we shall see, right? If they do the same thing that ramen is doing, where they make it modular, then you get away with it. But then people go, well, you just copied off ramen, and it's hard to argue that. All right. So about to get to the topic. We're going to talk about JoeFest. But before we do, I do have two moderators that do shows on Tuesdays, and only one will give me a commercial. So here you go.
Idiots! Incompetent buffoons! What is it now, Commander? Consummate morons, incapable of coherent thought! Are you watching that show again? Yes. Why didn't you just watch Pop Blender and Matthew's discussions, news, reviews before the show came out? Whether you agree or disagree, the perspectives provide enough context to know if the show or movie is worth your time or not. Yes, I know. I will not miss another Tuesday at 10 p.m. Eastern, 9 Central on Pop Blender's channel. Be more than once a man by watching Pop Blender and Matthew talk about pop culture news, discussions, and reviews on Tuesday nights, 10 p.m. Eastern, 9 p.m. Central. And now you know. Televiper, be sure to hit like, share, and subscribe so we do not miss another episode, and hit that bell notification.
All right, so with Matt O'Brien saying, I'm in for a bridge layer, don't poo-poo that punk. The Viper Scout saying, bridge layer HasLab or 150 made to order. I don't think the bridge layer is iconic enough to be a HasLab. I also think doing a HasLab Mauler, or let's say you do an Abrams A1 and you call it, the Mobat. Doing it and then giving like tiers or where you can buy into it to do what Ramen, like you're basically just you're saying, yeah, Ramen did it first. We're just going to copy it. Gun Bunny, he wants a Tiger Force bridge layer. And I could use a bridge layer over the Crick. 3-star says, I'm down for a bridge layer. That Ramen one is going to be in every pick I take to make it worth it. But not everyone's going to. Lightfoot says, I would go for a bridge layer. GI Jetman says, bridge layer would be cool. I never had one. Again, I'm just trying to think, like, I mean, I still have my original, like complete original with the paint that I painted by mistake and everything. I don't know. Will Ramen send a cease and desist? He should. All right. So I want to talk about JoeFest. There's been so much talk about what's going on with JoeFest and DFW. And I'm, again, the only reason why there's even a whole thing with that there's some sort of like comparison is because of what happened with Valaverse leaving and going there and trying to make it a competition. It really shouldn't be a competition, but we have people throwing out stuff. I know Chad says only hipsters go there and it's just people that want to be seen, which is really, isn't that the reason why anyone's going to a fucking show to be fucking seen? And saying that it's only fucking hipsters. I don't even know what the fuck that means, to be 100% honest, but whatever. And then like, trying to say that it's not, DFW is an experience and JoeFest. Aren't all cons an experience? I mean, if you're going somewhere, and again, this really isn't about it's not about like what show you should or shouldn't go to. All right. But I really want to talk about what JoeFest is about. San Diego Comic-Con, it is about seeing new product, right? It's this big event, and it's this big event that everything is, they're showing new stuff off. They're showing off HasLabs and everything. Legends Con, they do a lot of the same thing. You don't get a lot of reveals. It is another big toy show. JoeFest is about this. It's about fucking meeting people that you've met over the internet in real life and having fun with them. All right? It's about finally being able to sit there and connect with them and spend 5 fucking days with them doing nothing but having fun. Now, the whole fact that this has become a competition between two shows that are 1,000 miles apart makes no fucking sense to me, other than that one group wants to make it like that. And that's fine. Go to DFW and have fun. You should be having the exact same experience. But what I got here, and what to me is the most important thing about JoeFest, is all the fucking friends that we've already made and the other friends that we'll fucking make along the way. I didn't know who Teflon was. I mean, I had talked to Tony numerous times, right? But I never met him. Ed I had met once, and obviously he's my moderator. I never met Teflon, so he was someone new that I had met. Baldylocks says, we had a blast last year. Punk, I'll be back. And listen, your boss, Travis Moody, said he had a fucking blast he had such a blast last year that he's not going this year. I didn't let you eat 75% of his pizza. I let you eat the pizza that fucking Baldy said he wanted that he decided not to eat. Oh, look at this. Airborne Custom says, Punk, I'll chat with you about the bridge layer at JoeFest. So for me, JoeFest is really about a place that so many of us, that somebody else did a fucking show. Look at this. These are guys from across the fucking pond hanging out with us, right? Why would I ever think that I'd meet fucking Ray Murphy? All right. I also don't know why someone photoshopped Casey into this picture, but it was great to meet Casey. Doesn't Casey look like he's photoshopped in behind Tony? But this is really what it is. This is what this show is about. If I didn't spend a single fucking dime, I still could have fucking punched Travis Moody right here in the fucking face. All right. And it would have been all worth it, right? And just so you know, Baldy isn't fucking mean at all. I mean, he mean mugs a lot of shit. I got to meet with Adam, a guy who I'm still don't think he really likes me, but we spent a lot of time together. But this is what it's all about, man. It's not about buying any fucking thing. It's about fucking finally telling Sergeant Slaughter that he turned his back on Hulk Hogan and the USA. And I get to give him the, well, he tried choking me, but look at it. I mean, seriously, like, we didn't pay for this. We didn't go to fucking, breakfast with him. Teflon was able to get his attention. He sat down with us and he fucking he told story after story for 2 fucking hours. We went out to fucking breakfast. Some people wanted to take an Uber there and an Uber back, even though it was like 2 blocks. I survived the night at Aaron the Toy Enhancers with him and Krusty Old Crow. This was when they were trying to make me look tall, and somehow Aaron made himself look like he's special. I know that tricep was awesome. It's by far the best tricep that I've ever had. Loki and Daredevil. These are all people, again, like, it's going there and meeting people that you've met all through here. David Warren Hernandez. Didn't even know who he was. We sat there, we chatted, had a great time. There's, a Wilhelm's little box that he made for people that collect 1/18 scale. I think this was the first experience of the pizza. I think this was the first time I got to try the pizza, Ed, just so you know. There was a lot of pizza that was consumed that day, or that weekend, shall I say. Meeting this Canadian who thinks that fucking Bret Hart is better than Shawn Michaels. It still makes me laugh. Matt, it looks like you guys had a blast. I've never been to a JoeFest, but would love to go. Again, if you don't spend a single dime, you're going to walk away having fun. Because to me, I wasn't going just with people. I already knew people, but I made so many friends along the way. And that's why I don't understand why someone says they had such a great time, but didn't want to go this year. It didn't make any sense to me, because I made so many fucking friends. If Tony doesn't go, oh wow, as much as I want him to go, there's other fucking people there that first off that I already knew, and I had a fucking great time, and I want to go back there and see these guys again, and also meet new guys, right? Meet all these new fucking friends that we made. Look at fucking GI fucking bro, dude. This guy knew to come up to us and say, "My name is Rich," say, "My name is GI bro, not Rich." Okay, so Travis, I'm gonna fucking call you out. I'm not going because Tony said but you said you weren't gonna go because your team wasn't gonna go. Dude, you didn't meet a whole bunch of other good fucking people that you were like, I love to fucking hang out with them again. And I know you try and say you're just an individual, and you said it numerous times, that I'm just an individual guy. I'm an individual, I don't do things as a team. No, dude, I wanted to fucking go and see all these fucking people again because I made such good fucking friends. And I'm just realizing, GI Bro, I'm sorry that you bought fist figures. I'm sorry, Rich, that you bought fist figures. Here was Terrence before Terrence got mad at me, and then Terrence and I made up again. But this is what JoeFest to me it was all about, man. Was just getting there. I don't know, Tony. Are you going or not? I don't know. What am I supposed to fucking say? All right. I don't know what I'm supposed to fucking say, Tony. Anyway, 3-star. Here's again, all these people from other countries, all over the states. This is what this fucking convention to me is about. And when you talk to Ed, this is exactly what he said. When JoeCon ended, what he wanted to do was, this is where so many of us have been going for so long, and I want to keep this going. It just happens to be centered around a GI Joe convention. Look, I got to meet a B.A.T. He was a real nice guy too. This thing is 3D printed, and he has another 3D printed one coming too. I forget what it is, but he has another one coming. So, but yeah, Derek. These are I didn't know who Derek was. There was a mistake of putting Baldy and myself next to each other. There's a Canadian again. But to me, this is what JoeFest was all about, man. Just getting to hang out with a whole bunch of fucking people and, just having a fucking blast, right? There's Plastic Fantastic behind us who went out of his way to look for things for some people. Whirly Bird, just remember Whirly Bird, okay? You see Plastic Fantastic, you go to Whirly Bird. Mega J, who I had met before, same with Emerald Knight. So, again, I can't wait, but this is what it's all about, dude. It's not about, technically who's there and who's fucking not, like, vendor-wise. It's not about, aligning yourself with a fucking toy maker, and when he doesn't like the fucking people, you shouldn't go. It's about going there to meet people that we fucking had fun with. This is Carson, or as we dubbed him, our moderator, because he kind of looks like Matthew Matson. And since Matthew won't go to JoeFest, we just filled him in. So, just so you guys know, all the people that don't want to fucking go, or people that are on the fence, this is truly what it was all about, man. Like, we had a fucking blast. And like I said, I'm going in Thursday. There's Wilhelm going in Thursday. We leave Monday, and you don't think about anything. We didn't think about anything. It's like you don't think about work. You're at the hotel. I'm telling you right now, if you go to JoeFest, stay at the fucking hotel because it makes sense. Here's this asshole that was wearing a fucking Bucky's fucking thing. We didn't fight in person. I got along with you way better than I thought I was going to. If you want to know the 100% truth, I got along with you way better than I thought I was. Travis, although sometimes you just wandered away from us, like we'd be like, where the fuck did Moody go? He just fucking wandered away like a little fucking kid that gets lost at the mall. Pop here. I'm doing the fucking panel with Mega J, and we're in this fucking room, and it's towards the end of it, and I see this idiot with this Bucky's fucking uniform on, an outfit. And I just remember thinking, like, who the fuck is this guy? And it was like the last hour of the show. We finish up. I'm walking back down onto the floor, and I'm like, fuck, there's that idiot with that stupid fucking Buc-ee's. And he starts walking up. I'm like, oh, fucker's coming up to me. And then I'm like, God damn, I know that fucking idiot. And Pop said this thing was super hot. And then he said his son has worn it how many times? Pop was a sweetheart. Punk, don't talk. He is. Again, I didn't know that it was Pop. I still tell him he was an idiot for it. But seriously, just meeting all these people. It's not about the fucking show and who's showing what off. It's really about just going there, meeting people, having a fucking blast. Oh, look, here's the Photoshop Casey one. And there's the tricep death choke. Look at that tricep. That was fucking popping. But anyway, that's what JoeFest is, man. It's not so much, again, I can go to Motor City Comic Con and it's fucking bigger and I can get everything that I need at fucking Motor City Comic Con. I really can. It's the memories with the fucking people. And like I said, if someone said, hey, we're going to fucking Kansas and all these people are going to be there, these YouTubers, these people that are in your chat, these people that you got to know, that you chat with on Instagram and Facebook, that you've had on your fucking show, I'd be like, let's go there. Because it's all about the fucking memories, man. Like, I sat there yelling at my fucking kid, telling my kid these aren't real fucking friends. Like, these aren't fucking people on the internet that you know. And then I start doing this, and then I realize they are fucking people that we know, and they're fucking friends that we make. And this is a chance once a year. This is a chance once a year to go. It is once a year we all get to go. I am not doing anything like that. If he did that, it was because I was originally supposed to be on Moody's, because Moody still had his panel that he was supposed to do. So it probably just got removed and said I was still doing it. I'm not doing any podcasts from there. I don't have time to do a live stream while I'm here. It'll be hard enough to create any type of content. It'll really be hard enough to create any content, because it's the last thing on my mind. Hey, dude, all I know is it was always on the schedule and he had to remove it. That's all I know. And that was people pointed out to me that, hey, you know what? It still says that Toy Kind of Mood is doing a panel. All right. So I don't know. That's between you and Ed. But I was in there that I was doing it with you, right? So I don't know. I didn't say that I was doing a live stream from there or anything like that. This is the last thing on my mind, man. It's the last thing on my mind to stream. I know everyone wants, I know last year Oz wanted us to jump on the Clubhouse, and then luckily some guys went upstairs and they jumped on it. I'm like, I'm in the fucking lobby with everyone. The last thing I'm going to fucking do is jump on it. All right. Charlotte tried fucking doing that from Assembly Required. It didn't have a fucking earpiece and couldn't hear us. US Combat Dojo says, next year I'm going, had a wedding. I have to attend this year. It'll be my first time going. Yeah. Again, that's right here. Just Jeff says, seeing friends, building stores, etc. That's what cons are. Sure, there's merch. So whatever, but it's always about the people, either Texas. Exactly. Like you said, if it was here, great. I mean, I would love it. It'd be a lot easier if it was fucking here. But it doesn't really so much matter. But but it is because it brings in people from across the pond. Like Ray Murphy's like, we're coming every fucking year, right? We're coming here every single fucking year. Like he schedules it to come every year. So how often are you going to get that? Like they're not going to show up to Motor City Comic Con, nor should they. You know, there's only a couple conventions that are going to be like that. San Diego Comic Con, that's one of them. I think Legions Con, for people that are big into, you know, Four Horsemen, Mythic Legion, stuff like that, they're going to travel to get there. But I don't believe that Legions Con is even close to being as big as JoeFest is. Not to mention Legions Con is in fucking November in Jersey. So it's cold as shit. Again, I will take 98 degree, 100% humidity over a possibility of 30 degrees, no sun, and wind in Jersey. I don't know. Does Ed know? You guys should do that. You guys should do your own live stream and have fun with it. Matt O'Brien says, how come Hasbro doesn't go to JoeFest? Is it just something upper management is against? I always hear they don't show up, but feel like they should be there. From what I understand, from my understanding is that Hasbro just won't approve it. I mean, I've talked to Lenny, and Lenny said he would love to go. I don't see why he wouldn't, but it's just one of those things that Hasbro doesn't want to let them go. Seriously, like, and they've been offered. I know that for a fact. I know for a fact that they want, like, they've offered for them to come. And, you know, he pays for certain people to have rooms. So I'm assuming that if he could get the Hasbro team, he'd be more than willing to pay for a couple rooms, their booths, just to have them there, because they would pull people in. They don't even have to show anything off, but they just won't. It doesn't make any sense why someone else is doing a fucking show on one of your brands and you can't even just send someone there. Airborne Custom says they can't attend it in an official capacity, but can as fans. I know Lenny's birthday is the same weekend and already has. Oh, I see. Well, you know, that does kind of change some stuff there for sure. But it just sucks. Like, there's no reason why Hasbro shouldn't. I mean, if there was like a big Transformers con that somebody else was doing and people that love Transformers were going there, why wouldn't you want to send the Transformers team? You know, it doesn't make any sense. But anyway, JoeFest, there will be no show next week because I will be driving back. I doubt I'll even be home by then, by 9 o'clock. But even if I am, I'd be too fucking tired. So I'm not even going to think about it. But I am excited, if you guys didn't know. I've been excited for quite some time. And, you know, there's going to be the people that we get to reconnect with. There's going to be new people that we meet. There'll be new people that I don't like that I meet. There's always that too. I'm not joking. I don't like everyone. I might act like it to a point. But anyway, that's it. That's what JoeFest is. That's the purpose of JoeFest. That should be the purpose of any large convention that you're going to. Like Jeff said, you know, it's about meeting the people. Going to a show here, Motor City Comic Con, going to the local shows here, that's to go and look for stuff, right? Motor City Comic Con maybe a little bit different. You know, maybe you're going with your family to experience like the 501st, see the people that are dressed up. This is a specific show that is pulling people in, and YouTube has made it so you're not just meeting these people once or twice a year. You're seeing them every single week. Someone like me, you see multiple times a week. Yes, Ed, I love everyone. You love everyone. Yeah, I love everyone. Yes, but yeah, again, I'm excited. I'm truly excited, and I'm sure there's going to be people that I didn't know were going that are going to be there. I'm sure there's going to be people that maybe that I've watched before that I forgot who they are, and they come up to me. I hope the Savage Land comes up to me, because last year he didn't come up to me, and he was like, "You were talking to some people." I'm like, "You're fucking kidding me, right? Make sure you come up to me, right?" Like, there's no reason. I didn't see him, or else I would have. Baldy says, "Punk, you asked, and link for tomorrow's Circle of Jerks will be up around noon. We run a professional show, and I forgot it was already Monday." This would never happen on a toy kind of mood. I'm just saying. Afflicted Studio says, "Meeting people you don't like. This will be a great opportunity for you to start the Friday Nemesis stream." I don't want to be on the show with fucking people I don't like. There are people that you don't like, and there are people that are just, they kind of annoy you. That's why you walk away, right? You walk away, Let's be honest. You're at someone else's convention. People that put a lot of time and effort into it. You shouldn't be a fucking asshole and start fucking fights. All right? You just shouldn't. There's no reason for it. If you don't like someone, you just don't talk to them. All right? I don't like Brian Flynn. I'm not going to go out of my way and fucking say, "Hey, you know what? I think you're a lying piece of shit." Right? I just won't talk to him. That fucking simple. It's kind of like the playground. You just didn't fucking talk to everyone. Anyway, I'm going to get out of here because, well, it's 12:43. I have to work in the morning. Then I have to do a show right after. And then I have to do another fucking recording right after that. I don't know how I'm going to sleep between now and the drive to JoeFest. I literally was trying to think of when am I going to sleep. And I'm like, you know what? I don't go back to work till the following Thursday. I can sleep in those days. Baldy Lock says, "JoeFest newbies, trust me. Just say hi to people and introduce yourself. Ask Sherlock. We had a great..." No, and I mean it. Like, do not, if you see someone that you want to say hi to, don't walk up to somebody that's in the middle of a conversation and be rude about it. But kind of, you can tap and say, "Hey, I just wanted to say hi." Cool. And here's another thing. Last time, well, I'll probably say it again tomorrow and probably Wednesday if we do a stream too on Wednesday. Don't introduce yourself as Rich if you're GI Bro. Now, he didn't do this, but because he specifically said, "Hey, I'm GI Bro." If GI Bro comes up, who no one has ever seen, I mean, I've seen because he's been on the show a couple times. When he comes up, if he says, "Hey, I'm Rich," I'm going to go, "Who the fuck is Rich?" But you say GI Bro, I know who you're talking about, right? So remember that. If you introduce yourself as a screen name that you know, and then say, "Hey, my name is so-and-so," because we're not going to know. I can come up to someone and be like, "Hey, my name is Lawrence." They see me every fucking week, right? So you know who I am. I don't have to introduce myself as Punk. Not to mention, I just go that, "Do you not know who the fuck I am?" It's really that simple. The 3-star says, "Yes, please. If you see any creators you like and want to say hi, do it. We all want to meet." Hey, and if you're one of the people that want to give me a thumbs down all the time, come up and say, "Hey, you know what? I thumbs down your shit all the time because I think you suck." And I'll be like, "Awesome. Have a great fucking day." All right. So Travis is saying, "Baldy Locks Reviews, tell the story how you thought G.I. Joe was being played 24/7. I know you're trying to make fun of me. So Travis had the G.I. Joe playing 24/7 and said, "Yeah, he did something. I never bothered to change it." And then when they told me that, yeah, we've had that playing. We played a joke on you, and then when I didn't laugh, they were like, you didn't even fucking like care. I'm like, I thought, I mean, technology is what it is. Everyone in the fucking place is a Joe fan. Maybe they just had to fucking put it on a loop. I didn't really think too much about it. Well, Allison, you should go. You should go to JoeFest. Maybe next year you'll go. So anyway, I have to go. I really do mean it this time. Again, no show next week, but I guess by noon tomorrow, we will have a show for tomorrow. I don't know. I don't know if we have a show coming on Wednesday. If there are pre-order drops for G.I. Joe or live stream, we're supposed to talk about it. I believe at 8 p.m. once again. And then I have to start getting ready to go to JoeFest, which, again, I'm extremely excited. I just showed off exactly why. And you know what? We're going to have a bunch more pictures. There'll be new people. There'll be new people. And again, guys like Airborne's Custom, I didn't even get a fucking picture with him. So got to make sure I get to do that this year. So anyway, everyone, have a wonderful night. I'm going to get out of here. If you see me at JoeFest, come say hi. If I walk away, it means I don't like you. I'm just kidding. I won't do that. I'll give you at least 5 minutes before I decide whether I don't like you or not. Take care.